Chapter 118. Although Zhao Dehai was rich, 2,000 taels was still a large sum of money for him, so he hesitated for a moment. Master Gao, is your method really useful? Although it's not stable, don't worry. He'll definitely be able to live for a few more days. If he dies before he turns 20, I won't take a single cent from him. Master Gao said with a mysterious look on his face as he stroked his beard. Good. With this guarantee, Zhao Dehai felt that even if it was 2,000 taels, it was worth it. After all, 1,000 taels of gold couldn't buy a life. After the matter was settled, Zhao Dehai paid a deposit of 1,000 taels. The other two had already agreed that after Wang Zhong's 20th birthday, they would hand it over to Master Gao. At this point, Wang Zhong also understood why the original owner died at the age of 21. It was probably because Master Gao extended his life. Unfortunately, his life was only extended for 1 year. Later, for convenience, Zhao Dehai specially arranged a side courtyard for Master Gao Jinren to live in. Every day, there were servants to serve him, so his life was very comfortable. Unfortunately, Gao Jinren's moral character was not very good. Wang Zhong saw his own maid, Sui Sui, serving Master Gao tea and food several times. Gao Jinren stared at her neckline. Fortunately, although this guy's moral character was not good, greedy and lecherous, he spared no effort in teaching. These days, Wang Zhong had already learned how to draw talismans from him. Xiao Dong, you are my 58th disciple. Although you are young, your foundation is not bad. At such a young age, you have already grown so strong. Good, very good. To use talismans, you need a good foundation. Master, what do I need to pay attention to when drawing talismans? Do I need some other power when using talismans? Wang Zhong asked. You mean strength, right? Talismans don't need any strength, but if you can inject a little bit of strength, it can increase some strength. Then, Gao Jinren began to talk about how he learned talismans in the past. At that time, I was tested to have a 6th level spirit root. Fortunately, my grandfather was a Taoist. Although Taoism has declined, my grandfather still hid a lot of Taoist books in his house. Under his guidance, I learned a lot. Drawing talismans is much easier than cultivating strength qi. Cultivating strength qi requires better talent. Weak strength qi can't deal with evil beings at all. However, when drawing talismans, you only need a little bit of strength qi to be able to erupt with powerful strength. Gao Jinren took out a rectangular piece of talisman paper and used red cinnabar to write down the 3 ancient characters Peace Talisman. The Safety Talisman is one of the most commonly made talismans. It is also the easiest talisman to make. Once you stick it on your body, ordinary evil beings will not be able to get close to you. This is the Extermination Talisman. Throw out the Extermination Talisman and the evil beings' souls will scatter. This is a protective talisman. The ghosts will not be able to attack you. Gao Jinren introduced the 3 talismans at once. Then, he took out a writing brush, a stack of yellow paper, and finally a bottle of red cinnabar ink. He gave them to Wang Zhong. Keep these and draw talismans according to the talismans I drew. When you're done, come and get them from me. Thank you, Master. Wang Zhong put away the things. Remember, you can't be impatient when you learn. Otherwise, the things you draw will be neither fish nor fowl. Back then, I only learned for more than 2 years and could easily draw talismans. Your talent is so much worse than mine. I'll give you 5 years. Wang Zhong's mouth twitched. 5 years, the cucumber would be cold. But he didn't say much. He was still confident in himself. Gao Jinren didn't know that the lower the talent of the spirit root, the stronger the talent. He spent more than 2 years to learn these things, so logically, he should have less time. After that, Gao Jinren went out and left. Wang Zhong stayed at home to practice drawing talismans. Fortunately, he learned how to write before, so it wasn't strenuous at all. After practicing for more than an hour, Wang Zhong frowned. He was definitely good at drawing talismans, but the problem was that this was only a drawing of talismans. There was still a gap between the talismans drawn by Gao Jinren. This Gao Jinren is still hiding something. He let me draw talismans, but didn't teach me the essence. Although learning is mainly based on self-exploration, the problem is that we paid so much money. Wang Zhong was a little dissatisfied. He walked out and looked at Gao Jinren's room. I don't know what he has in his house. From what he said, his grandfather was a Taoist priest. That's why he was able to learn so many skills. If there are Taoist books in his house, that's not bad, Wang Zhong muttered to himself. Brother, do you want me to go in and take a look? Zhao Rong asked. Wang Zhong's heart moved. Okay, then you go in. I'll guard the door for you. Okay. Zhao Rong turned into a cloud of black fog and rushed toward the door. After Zhao Rong entered the room, she saw Gao Jinren's luggage. There were a lot of big and small bags. Unfortunately, there was a pile of ordinary clothes and nothing special. After returning without success, Wang Zhong fell into contemplation. Those things were Gao Jinren's livelihood. He either kept them with him or at home. For a short period of time, Wang Zhong didn't think too much about it. He drew and refined talismans every day. After drawing for a few days, he tried to overflow his strength and put it on the talisman paper. Unfortunately, the talisman paper was not as good as the one Gao Jinren made himself. Disciple, how's it going? At this time, Gao Jinren entered the room. For example, last time in the water, if Zhao Rong didn't remind him of the direction, he would have a more thrilling fight. Thank you for your reminder, Master. I understand. After understanding this, Wang Zhong thanked him politely. After thinking, he asked, Master, is there anyone in this world who raises evil creatures? You are a child, but you know so much. Gao Jinren's face was full of curiosity. I used to like reading about strange stories in the private school, so I know some. Chapter 119. Well, since you asked, I'll tell you. In this world, of course, there are people who raise evil creatures. I know a few big shots who do, Gao Jinren said with a mysterious look. Who are the big shots? Gao Jinren was about to say, but seeing Wang Zhong's childish look, he thought about it and waved his hand. Go, go, go. You have so many questions. Let me tell you, it's not that easy to raise evil creatures. You can feed them with blood essence, but that requires a lot of blood essence. This amount isn't something that can be raised by killing a few people. It's tens of thousands. Of course, you can also use your own strength to forcibly raise the evil creature's strength, but which normal expert would do such a stupid thing? But there's another way, and that is to catch other evil creatures and let them devour them one by one. This way, the evil creature raised will become the strongest sooner or later. Unfortunately, this method is also very dangerous. After all, there are strong and weak evil creatures out there. If you accidentally kick an iron plate, I'm afraid you'll be in trouble. Gao Jinren said a little more and felt a little hungry. He waved his hand and said, Okay, that's all for today. Ask Sui Sui to bring me some food and wine. I'll be drinking in the house later. Got it. Seeing Gao Jinren leave, Wang Zhong narrowed his eyes. This guy knew a lot, and he had learned a lot. It was a pity that this guy kept his mouth shut about how to make the talisman stronger. What a pity, what a pity. Then, Wang Zhong found Sui Sui and asked her to bring wine to Gao Jinren. Again. Sui Sui's face was a little bitter. What's wrong? Wang Zhong looked at Sui Sui's unhappy face and felt a little strange. That Master Gao's hands are dirty. He likes to bully people. Wang Zhong understood. Previously, he had accidentally seen Gao Jinren touch Sui Sui's thigh. Now, it seemed that Gao Jinren was getting bolder. Sui Sui was still a virgin. No matter how powerful Gao Jinren was, Sui Sui didn't like him. Bring the dishes and wine over. I'll bring them in. Yes. Sui Sui left happily. Wang Zhong pushed open the door and entered with food and wine. Seeing that it was Wang Zhong who brought food and wine over, Gao Jinren's expression immediately became displeased. My disciple, why are you so insensible? Gao Jinren reprimanded her to her face. Wang Zhong's expression didn't change. Master, the dishes and wine I brought are all the best signature dishes of my restaurant. How is this not sensible? My disciple, didn't Master ask Sui Sui to bring me food and wine? As the host, how can you do this? So Master was talking about this. Sui Sui is busy. Yes. When she's done, you tell her that Master thinks Sui Sui's bones are exceptionally good and suitable for cultivation. When the time comes, I'll examine her body. I guarantee that she won't be afraid of any demons or ghosts, Gao Jinren said proudly. Wang Zhong sneered inwardly. He still wanted to play this trick in his home. After thinking about it, Wang Zhong came up with a plan. After leaving, Wang Zhong found Li Bo, please go to Lichuan brothel and find a lady who can talk. Accompany my master for a drink, Wang Zhong said. Li Bo understood. He was speechless. I didn't expect Master Gao to like this. I'll go find her right away. Soon, Li Bo led a pretty girl in green clothes over. This is a girl from Lichuan brothel. Her name is Ning. Li Bo nodded to Ning. My young master wants to talk to you about something. Do whatever he wants you to do. After saying that, Li Bo directly left. Greetings to young Master Zhao. Ning bowed to Wang Zhong. My master is inside. Accompany him for a few drinks. Remember, the more you drink, the better. Wang Zhong took out a sum of money. Ning's eyes lit up. She had long heard that the Zhao family was rich and imposing, so she was willing to come. She didn't expect that she would be given money before she even did her work. She immediately beamed with joy and repeatedly thanked him. Don't be in a hurry to thank me. There's something more important. Wang Zhong looked around and pulled Ning to the side. Ning was 2 heads taller than the current Wang Zhong. She had a curious look on her face. She didn't understand what important thing this little brat had to do. You know Master Gao, right? Wang Zhong asked. Yes. Of course I know Master Gao. My boss even invited Master Gao to perform a ritual. Very good. Later, I want you to wait until he drinks too much and ask him some questions. Wang Zhong's expression was serious. If you do well, I'll reward you with 500 taels of silver. I guarantee you won't have to worry for the rest of your life. Ning directly knelt down and kowtowed to Wang Zhong, who wasn't even as tall as her. Young master, please speak. I, Ning will go all out. Although these women were just prostitutes, they were actually more shrewd than anyone else. This was because they had seen too much of the world's prosperity and people's faces. Therefore, she also understood that what she was about to do next might be really important and even dangerous. Therefore, she thought about it, and in order to leave a way out for herself, she still said respectfully, Young master, I'm just a woman. If I can't do what you've arranged, please forgive me. Don't worry. This isn't dangerous. Remember these questions. After that, Wang Zhong asked a few questions. In general, he wanted to ask Gao Jinren where he kept the books on learning Dao techniques. When he was sober, he definitely wouldn't be able to ask. However, Wang Zhong believed that this person would give himself away after drinking too much. Soon, Wang Zhong led Ning to Gao Jinren's room. Knock, knock, knock. Wang Zhong knocked on the door and shouted, Master, Sui Sui just went out and didn't have time to come over. However, I brought another woman over. Gao Jinren opened the door unhappily. He was just about to scold Wang Zhong for being so incompetent, but after seeing Ning his eyes lit up. Good disciple. Go do your work. Ning walked over with a smile. Master Gao. Her voice almost made one go limp. Wang Zhong listened in the next room. He didn't let Zhao Rong go over. After all, no matter how bad Gao Jinren was, he was still a warlock. If Zhao Rong appeared, he would easily discover her. After waiting for about 4 hours, he saw Ning put on her clothes and walk out with a wronged expression. How was it? Wang Zhong whispered in the next room. This guy is too barbaric. Ninger's eyes were red and she looked like she was about to cry. Come in and talk. Wang Zhong hurriedly pulled Ninger into the room. Don't worry. That old man is sleeping like a dead pig. Ninger said indifferently, Young master, I got what you wanted me to ask. Wang Zhong was ecstatic. Why did he spend so much effort? It was all for Gao Jinren's skills. He thought that since his father paid 2,000 taels of silver, he could at least learn a few moves. He didn't expect that it was all a bluff. Since Gao Jinren was unrighteous, he shouldn't blame Wang Zhong for being heartless. He should take what he should learn himself. Where are his books? Wang Zhong asked. Young master, I worked so hard just now, Ninger said aggrievedly. Chapter 120. Looking at the girl's appearance, Wang Zhong impatiently tossed out a box. Inside the box was a pile of silver. The silver was originally from Zhao Dehai's private stash, but Wang Zhong knew where it was. He believed that his parents would not blame him for taking it. Seeing the silver, Ning-er thanked him gratefully. Cut the crap. Where are the books? Young master, I didn't find out where they are. You tricked me. Wang Zhong snorted and pulled out the bronze sword from the table, pointing it at Ning-er's soft chest. If you continue to trick me, I will stab you. Clang. The box containing the silver fell to the ground. Ning-er quickly replied, although I didn't find out where the books were, but I saw them. Ning-er was so anxious that she was about to cry. She wanted to explain slowly, but she did not expect this young master to have such a bad temper. Don't play tricks with me. Where are they? Wang Zhong put away the sword. When I was undressing him, I saw 2 ancient books in his underwear. Although I don't know a lot of words, I've learned a few words from some scholars. I think the 2 books are called Literary Arts and the other one is called Qi Cultivation. Is it this word? Wang Zhong thought for a while and wrote the word talisman on the paper. Yes, it is this word. So it is talisman. So it's rune arts. The other one is called Qi Cultivation. It's similar to the abilities that Gao Jinren usually shows. Wang Zhong made up his mind. He waved his hand and said, Go back. Don't tell anyone about what happened just now. Otherwise you will be killed. Don't blame others. Ning-er's heart skipped a beat. She quickly lowered her head. Go out and let Li Bo send you back. Otherwise, you will be robbed. Let's go. Thank you, young master. With regards to this matter, Wang Zhong was not worried that Ning-er would spread rumors. Just like what he had threatened just now, if he spoke carelessly, he would be killed. Moreover, Wang Zhong wasn't afraid that Gao Jinren would know about this. After all, Gao Jinren wasn't an official. He was just a rogue cultivator. Watching Ninger leave, Wang Zhong summoned Zhao Rong. Zhao Rong, guard the door. I'll go into Gao Jinren's room to take a look. As Wang Zhong spoke, he pushed the door open and entered with a cup of tea. On the bed, Gao Jinren was sound asleep. Originally, Wang Zhong thought that Gao Jinren was very vigilant and that these scriptures would not be easy to take. Therefore, when he came, he had already prepared the excuse of bringing tea into the house. However, when he arrived at the bedside, Gao Jinren was still sleeping soundly without any reaction. I didn't expect it to be so simple. Wang Zhong shook his head secretly. He had already seen the 2 books placed beside the pillow. They were rune techniques and Qi cultivation. He put the tea on the table and picked up the rune technique book to read. The book wasn't very thick. Because he had some foundation before, Wang Zhong didn't seem to be very strenuous. The content in the front is the same as what Gao Jinren taught me. Wang Zhong secretly nodded his head when he saw this. He quickly skimmed through the information. When he finally reached the last chapter, Wang Zhong's eyes suddenly lit up. It said, when the talisman is completed, the talisman paper will only be effective if the talisman paper is blessed with a spell. So it requires a spell. Wang Zhong was delighted and continued reading. The spell is, Boundless heaven and earth, borrowing power from the universe. At the back was the method to pay attention to when chanting the spell. Generally speaking, when the spell was chanted, the entire body's energy would be spewed out from the mouth. However, the energy described in this book was a spell. Wang Zhong guessed that it was called differently because the inheritance was different. In essence, it was the same through different means. In addition to these, Wang Zhong also saw the refining materials for drawing talismans at the back of the book. He realized that different materials for drawing talismans would produce different effects. For example, yellow talismans were the best paper for drawing talismans. With cinnabar, the effect was very good. However, the best effect was gold water, which was gold ink mixed with gold powder. Talismans drawn with gold powder could produce better effects than talisman paper even if they were drawn on the window or the palm. However, the problem was that it was too extravagant and no one could afford to use gold talismans. Gao Jinren was indeed sleeping soundly. After Wang Zhong finished reading the rune technique book, he put it aside and continued to read qi cultivation. He had already cultivated energy, but Wang Zhong knew about some realms, other ways to use energy, and how to increase the efficiency of energy cultivation. He didn't know these 3 points, so he wanted to figure them out. He opened the book and the first thing introduced was the acupuncture points of the human body. Wang Zhong had learned about the acupuncture points of the human body in his previous life, so he could understand them at a glance. It was introduced that some acupuncture points could allow qi to flow out. With more practice, the acupuncture points would be opened and qi would gush out from the abdomen and these acupuncture points. This was the progress of cultivation. The more qi there was, the stronger the cultivation. I've been practicing since I was young and my acupuncture points have been opened. By chance, I produced qi. So that's how it is. Wang Zhong thought about it and was happy. So that's how it is. The next few chapters were about the use of qi. If he wanted to become stronger, it was not enough to cultivate qi. He also needed to polish and integrate it. It was the best state to be able to use qi like an arm. For this, Wang Zhong had realized it himself. Now, the qi in his body had been integrated and could even be attached to the sword. He continued to read. The next chapter focused on how to make qi grow faster after opening the acupuncture points. One was to practice non-stop. Through practicing martial arts every day, the acupuncture points would always be in the best state. The other was to meditate and do breathing. However, this required the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, which meant that the position had to be good. For example, if you meditated in the toilet, all you inhaled was turbid qi. Not only would you not advance, but you might even lose your cultivation. Cultivators also needed to have their 6 senses clear to always maintain a good state of mind. Otherwise, if the qi was too strong, it would also affect their advancement. Of course, the 6 senses here didn't mean not to get close to women or ignore worldly affairs. It meant that one had to treat it with a normal heart. Otherwise, no matter what, it would be too extreme. This Gao Jinren is greedy and lustful. I'm afraid his realm won't be high. Wang Zhong was mesmerized by the contents of the book and continued to flip through the pages. After that, there was only 1 chapter left. It said, although the laws of heaven and earth can be learned by everyone, there are thousands of things and thousands of people. Some things, after obtaining good fortune, become good fortune. This is a rare treasure. Some people, after obtaining good luck, have great cultivation. This is a dragon. There weren't many words, but Wang Zhong had a rough analysis. As the saying goes, there are thousands of things and thousands of people. It probably refers to the physique of people. Different physiques, different cultivation speed. If one's cultivation speed was fast, it would be great. Sooner or later, one would become a dragon among men. My advancement speed is already so fast with a 2nd-level spiritual root. I really don't know how fast people with 1st-level spiritual roots are. Wang Zhong couldn't help but think of Zhang Tufu's 2 poor sons. These 2 were talents with 1st-level spiritual roots. It was a pity that they died just like that. But how did these 2 people die? Wang Zhong couldn't help but think of the scene when Zhang Liang died. His life force seemed to have been directly devoured by something. If the so-called masters in the city lord's mansion were all people with evil intentions and deliberately fooled the people, the so-called spiritual root test was probably a part of the conspiracy to get rid of talents with low-level spiritual roots. Their purpose was probably to prevent people with low-level spiritual roots from growing, because the lower the spiritual root, the faster the cultivation. It was a pity that even the cultivator Gao Jinren didn't know about this lie. Wang Zhong looked at the unconscious Gao Jinren and suddenly froze. Gao Jinren actually woke up. Chapter 121. Disciple, why are you in my room? Gao Jinren frowned and glanced at his 2 treasured books on the bed. Master, Ning just left and told me that you are always drunk, so I asked the servants to prepare some tea for you to relieve your hangover. Wang Zhong calmly picked up the teacup from the side. Well, you are considerate. Gao Jinren took the teacup and drank it in one gulp. He said happily, that Ninger you found today is not bad. I didn't expect you to know so much at such a young age. You are indeed the son of a rich family. Master, you are too kind. That Ning was also found by my family's housekeeper, Libo Wang Zhong said respectfully. Well, I will rest for a while. You can go out. After that, Gao Jinren poured tea for himself. Wang Zhong walked out and breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he was prepared in advance, otherwise he would have to explain for a long time. However, even if he saw it, Wang Zhong was not worried. No matter how powerful Gao Jinren was, he would not kill him, right? Although this world was full of demons and ghosts, killing people in the city was still illegal. Back in his room, Wang Zhong began to draw talismans according to what he had learned from the book. Heaven and earth, 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 heaven and earth. The essence of the energy gushed out and attached to the talisman paper. After drawing a safety talisman and picking it up, Wang Zhong was happy. The aura on it was much stronger than Gao Jinren's. This is my first talisman and it already has such an effect. If I am proficient in it, it will be several times stronger than Gao Jinren's. If he knows about this, I am afraid he will be jealous to death. After these days of contact, Wang Zhong knew that Gao Jinren was not only greedy and lustful, but also narrow-minded and competitive. So after thinking about it, he hid the talismans he had refined in the cupboard and only kept the failed talismans. Now that I've learned enough from Gao Jinren, it's time to find an opportunity to let him leave. Wang Zhong thought to himself. Although he called Gao Jinren master, in the end, the two of them only had a monetary relationship. He had never sincerely taken him as a disciple, so there was no need for him to respect him as his master. But now, Wang Zhong had something more important to do. Just now, when he thought about how Zhang Liang had died, he guessed that it was most likely done by those masters. Then, it was very likely that they had done it to Zhang Liang during the spirit root test. From the looks of it, he felt that his body had been tampered with as well. If he wanted to survive in the future, he would have to go against those masters sooner or later. Therefore, he had to solve this problem in advance. Wang Zhong checked his own pulse, and sure enough, he found that there was a happy sign in his stomach. The pulse is the same as Zhang Liang's before he died. The deaths of those people were indeed related to this pulse. Wang Zhong frowned. This feeling was as if someone had planted a goo in his body, and there was a time bomb in his body that could explode at any time. If this bomb was not removed, he would never be able to rest in peace. Thinking of this, he began to try to let the gas flow in his stomach. Unfortunately, the gas was too weak. Although he could faintly feel that there was something in his stomach, the gas was washed away by this thing as soon as it went over. Looks like I have to increase my strength. Wang Zhong thought to himself. After a few more days, Gao Jinren would come over to check on Wang Zhong's learning. Wang Zhong would use some ordinary talismans to deal with him. Sometimes, he even deliberately drew them poorly. Looking at these poor talisman papers, Gao Jinren laughed in his heart. It seemed that the reason why he could draw so well last time was because of this kid's extraordinary performance. Like I said, how could a short-lived guy with a mere level 2 spirit root have such good talent? Disciple, these talismans are really bad. You really disappoint me. Sigh, you're so stubborn. No matter how I teach you, you won't learn. Gao Jinren's tone was as if he expected better from Lu Cheng, but in fact, he was happy. He liked the feeling of teaching people a lesson. I'm sorry, master. This disciple is stupid. Wang Zhong said. Well, if you go on like this, it seems that you won't be able to learn. Master can't do anything about it. But don't worry, Master promised your father that I will let you live for a few more days. Master, I don't know what you can do? Wang Zhong asked. People with short lifespans die because they don't have much lifespan left. That's why they die when evil creatures get close to them. When the time comes, I will make some methods for you to resist evil creatures. Wang Zhong nodded. Although Gao Jinren didn't understand the core of this world, he could see that people with short lifespans didn't die because they didn't have much lifespan left, but because evil creatures got close to them. Master, have you seen the evil creatures that killed those people with short lifespans? Why didn't the masters in the city lord's mansion deal with them? Wang Zhong asked deliberately. My cultivation is too low. I can only vaguely sense those evil creatures, but I can't see them. As for the big shots in the city lord's mansion, how can we guess their thoughts? Gao Jinren shook his head slightly. Besides, people with short lifespans are already dying. Even if they save them, they won't live for long. What's the use of saving them? Wang Zhong despised Gao Jinren's IQ in his heart, but on the surface, he still respectfully saluted, Master, you are right. Young master. At this time, the housekeeper Uncle Chen entered the room and shouted, Young master, Lin Wu's mother is here. Wang Zhong's eyes narrowed. Why is her mother here? I'm not sure. Master and Madam are receiving her now. She said she wants to see you. Uncle Chen's face was a little awkward. I'm afraid she has something to tell you. It seems like she's here to break off the engagement. Wang Zhong guessed. Previously, when he was tested to only have a level 2 spiritual root, the Lin family's attitude towards him immediately changed. After that, Lin Wu's mother directly pulled her family away. Now it seems that she came alone to discuss the matter of breaking off the engagement. I'm not sure, but looking at her, she doesn't look very happy. Uncle Chen responded. I'll go out and take a look. Wang Zhong helplessly shook his head. Although Lin Wu clearly said last time that she didn't mind his identity as a short-lived person, Lin Wu was still young and immature. If her family really didn't want to talk about this marriage, then it's fine. Master, I'll go out and take a look first. Wang Zhong turned to Gao Jinren and said, Go. Gao Jinren waved his hand indifferently. Wang Zhong walked out. Before he even entered the main hall, he heard a woman say from afar, Old Zhao, Yan, my husband has been busy recently and hasn't come to see you recently. Please don't mind. Wang Zhong immediately knew that this voice belonged to Lin Wu's mother, Xiao Ji. Speaking of which, this Xiao Ji and Lin Wu looked very similar. They were both top beauties, but her temper was a little petty and she liked to haggle over every little thing. In the past, the Zhao family was very good. Before the spiritual roots were tested, she was naturally 100% willing to betroth her to him. But now it was different. No matter how good Wang Zhong's background was, he was still a short-lived person. Who would be willing to marry their daughter to a kid who wouldn't live past 20? Wasn't this pushing their own daughter into a fire pit? I don't mind. Sister Xiao, I'll get the servants to prepare some dishes. You can stay and eat. Wei Yan knew the purpose of the other party's visit. She forced a smile and said, That's not necessary. I'm here this time to see Xiao Dong. Xiao Ji said. Xiao Dong has been learning from Taoist Gao these days. I've already asked Uncle Chen to call him. Zhao Dehai said. That's good. Speaking of Xiao Dong, I also like him from the bottom of my heart. What a pity. I didn't expect his spiritual roots to be so. Auntie Xiao. Wang Zhong walked out. Yes, Xiao Dong. Xiao Ji smiled. Auntie Xiao brought some gifts for you. As she spoke, Xiao Ji took out a basket from behind her. She was very polite to bring some pastries. I made these myself a while ago. If you like them, I'll bring more for you in the future. Thank you, Auntie. Wang Zhong accepted the basket without hesitation. These are all my favorites. Thank you. Seeing that Wang Zhong was so sensible at such a young age, Xiaozhi sighed in her heart. What a sensible child. As for Wang Zhong, she actually liked him from the bottom of her heart. But no matter how sensible he was going to die young. Her daughter couldn't be a widow at such a young age. Forget it, I'll be the ugly one. Xiaozhi thought for a while and said, Xiaodong, Auntie is here today to talk to you about something. Chapter 122. Wei Yan did not say anything and sat back down helplessly. Zhao Dehai was depressed. He could not avoid this. The Lin family was finally here to cancel the engagement. Okay, Auntie, go ahead. Wang Zhong nodded indifferently. It's like this. I've been reading Lin Wu's fortune these days. The fortune teller said that Lin Wu can only get married when she's older. She should be in her 20s, so... Wang Zhong was amused. This Auntie Xiao was interesting. She purposely made up such an excuse to save face for both families. Now that everyone knew that Wang Zhong would not live past his 20s, she purposely made up such an excuse. Zhao Dehai snorted, Xiaozhi, you don't have to say any more. The engagement was made when we were young, so... Wait. Suddenly, a shout came from the door. Lin Prefecture rushed in, panting. Brother Lin. Zhao Dehai stood up. I have something to say. Lin Prefecture walked in and glanced at Xiaozhi. Lao Lin, I'm in charge of this now. Go away. Xiaozhi panicked. Xiaozhi, I usually listen to you, but not this time. Lin Prefecture walked in front of Zhao Dehai. Old Zhao, I've thought about it. When Xiao Wu is 14 or 15 years old, she and Xiao Dong will get married. Wang Zhong was so shocked that he almost lost his balance. What was the meaning of this? Lin Wu was 15 years old, and he was only 12. His body was not even fully grown yet. However, after Lin Prefecture said this, Zhao Dehai and Wei Yan stood up in shock. Lao Lin, you... Zhao Dehai's eyes were red. He was extremely agitated. Hey, don't say any more. You and I are brothers. How can we cancel the engagement just like that? What will others think of me in the future? But my son Xiao Dong, his spirit root. I know that my spiritual roots are low, but so what? Words that have been spoken are like water that has been splashed out. A promise has to be kept. This matter has been decided. When the time comes, you just have to choose the date. Lin Zhou waved his hand in a domineering manner, before looking at Wang Zhong and saying, What do you say, Xiaodong? Wang Zhong said, Lin Shu, actually, you don't have to do this. Xiao Wu and I are still young. You won't be able to wait any longer. You'll get married when you're 12, and Xiao Wu can give birth to a chubby son as soon as possible, Lin Prefecture's boss said domineeringly. Lao Lin, you want to kill your daughter. Xuezhi was so anxious that she was trembling. She walked to the door and shouted, Anyway, I don't agree to this marriage. After saying that, she left without looking back. Old Zhao, Yan, don't worry about my family, Lin Prefecture said indifferently. You guys should discuss it. Although Zhao Dehai also liked Xiao Wu, in all fairness, if Xiao Wu was his daughter, he would not be willing to let his daughter marry someone with a short lifespan. There's no need to discuss it. I'll make the decision. Alright, Xiao Wu also knows about it. I'll take my leave first. Lin Prefecture cupped his hands and said goodbye. After he left, Zhao Dehai sighed, What a good person. Lao Lin is a good person, but in this way, he will hurt Xiao Wu. Xiaodong, what do you think? Wei Yan sighed. We'll see in the future. It's too early to say, Wang Zhong said. This matter was over. After 2 days, Wang Zhong was almost done learning from Gao Jinren. He was thinking about how to ask Gao Jinren to leave. After all, This guy not only ate and drank well in his house, but also flirted with the two maids in the house. Zhao Dehai and Wei Yan were secretly dissatisfied with him. This morning, Zhao Dehai suddenly pulled Wang Zhong into the house. "Xiao Dong, father wants to ask you something." Zhao Dehai's face was serious. Wei Yan was also staring at him from the side. Wang Zhong was a little scared. "Father, mother, it's so early in the morning. Why are you in such a hurry?" Wang Zhong asked. "Xiao Dong, do you know the silver that father put under the bed? Have you touched it?" Zhao Dehai asked. "Yes, I did. Didn't I tell you last time?" Wang Zhong then told Uncle Li about how he had asked Uncle Li to invite Ning over to seduce Gao Jin. "But that time you said that you only took 500 taels. But now, our house is short of 2,000 taels. We have a total of a few thousand taels. How can it be so much less?" Zhao Dehai asked anxiously. If he didn't know that Wang Zhong was a sensible child, and that a child from an ordinary family took so much money, he would have slapped him. Wang Zhong's eyes narrowed. "So much less." Wei Yan nodded. "Your father and I don't usually look at the wealth there. It's just that the inn needs to be renovated these days and needs a batch of silver. We didn't expect that the silver would be gone. Don't worry, I'll help you sort it out." Wang Zhong looked behind him and closed the door. "Our family has never had any theft for so many years. Now, there's only one outsider in the house." "Xiao Dong, you're saying that Master Gao?" Wei Yan lowered her voice. "It can't be. Master Gao is a person of virtue and prestige." Before Zhao Dehai could finish, Wei Yan stood on Wang Zhong's side and said, "I think Xiao Dong guessed right. That Master Gao doesn't act like a master at all. He often eats Sui's tofu and stares at me strangely several times. Once, Butler Li Bo told me that this person went to the inn to eat and ordered a lot of food without paying. I've been too embarrassed to say anything. Father, mother, this matter isn't difficult to deal with. Gao Jinren won't leave home these days anyway, so he must have the silver with him. I'll find a chance to check." "Yes, we must be careful. After all, Master Gao is a person who knows magic. If we annoy him, we commoners will have to bear the consequences." Zhao Dehai reminded them seriously and then shook his head in annoyance. You may know a person for a long time, but you can't judge his heart from his face. After living for so long, I actually let a wolf into the house. Alas. Don't worry. Wang Zhong thought to himself. Although that Gao Jinren knew magic, after these days of contact, that guy was actually a dabbler. Otherwise, he would have been targeted by the real masters in the city lord's residence. If he really calculated, that guy's strength was probably not as good as his. After breakfast, Wang Zhong kept thinking about how to investigate this matter. Ever since the neighbors found out about his low spiritual root, the inn's business had decreased a lot. The silver was worth a lot and was equivalent to 10 years of his family's income. Of course, Wang Zhong wouldn't let Gao Jinren take it away so easily. Holding the tea, Wang Zhong walked towards Gao Jinren's room. He didn't expect Gao Jinren to open the door at this time. Gao Jinren stretched and yawned. He said, "Disciple, you're so early. I knew that Master would wake up around this time, so I specially brought you some tea." Wang Zhong stood at the door and said respectfully, "Well, thank you. Put it on the table." Gao Jinren entered the room and said casually. Wang Zhong entered the room and glanced around. He was surprised to find that Gao Jinren's luggage was neatly packed. "Master, are you going to leave now that you've packed your luggage?" Wang Zhong put down the tea and asked. "Well, there are a few places that need my help. I have to go and take a look. Anyway, I've taught you almost everything. The rest is up to you to comprehend on your own. Do you understand?" Wang Zhong didn't reply. This Gao Jinren's attitude was a little too obvious. He took the money and wanted to leave. He probably thought that they didn't know that the money was lost. After all, he didn't look at that place often. "Master, are you really not going to stay for a few more days?" "No, you're very sensible. I'm very pleased. If there's anything you don't understand in the future, come to my place to find me. Do you understand? Gao Jinren smiled slightly. In that case, let your disciple carry your luggage for you. With that, Wang Zhong didn't wait for Gao Jinren to reply and picked up his luggage. Gao Jinren's expression changed. No. However, it was too late. At this moment, Wang Zhong had already picked up the largest bag. Just by lifting it, the heavy weight caused Wang Zhong to feel troubled. This is really heavy. Wang Zhong threw the bag on the ground. Although the cloth bag was tightly wrapped, there were too many things inside. With just a throw, a lot of silver spilled on the ground. Wang Zhong picked up the other 2 bags. Sure enough, these bags were heavy as well. Opening them up, he saw that they were filled with sparkling white silvers. Master, my parents told me that a few thousand taels of silver were lost at home. I thought it was done by rats, but now it seems that it was done by someone else. Chapter 123. Being exposed by Wang Zhong in front of everyone made Gao Jinren feel ashamed. Especially when he was dealing with a little kid, but the words he said were unhurried, as if Zhao Xiaodong entered the house to catch dirt. Gao Jinren's face turned ugly. He looked outside the door and asked worriedly, "Your parents are outside too?" Wang Zhong shook his head. No. Oh. Gao Jinren did not believe him. He even went to the door to take a look. Sure enough, there was no one there. He sneered and quickly closed the door. He said to Wang Zhong, "Good disciple." Master was confused for a moment. "As long as you don't tell anyone about this, Master will bestow you with a life treasure and a high-level secret technique. How about it?" "Is that so? Let me see." Wang Zhong nodded. Gao Jinren took out a small knife from his bag. "This knife is an artifact blessed by your ancestor. It can cut iron like mud. Take it." After saying that, he nodded and said, "As for the high-level secret technique, I will write it out for you in a few days. Don't worry." Wang Zhong looked at the knife and sneered, "Master, do you really think of me as a child?" "What do you mean?" Gao Jinren's eyes narrowed and his tone became cold. "This knife is trash." Wang Zhong's tone was calm and indisputable. This knife's body was rough and the edge was a little curled. How could it be a good knife? Besides, with Gao Jinren's character, why would he really give him something good? He probably saw that he was a child and tricked him. "Ha ha ha, Zhao Xiaodong, you're really different from other kids. If I didn't know that you really have a level 2 spiritual root talent, I would have thought that you were a level 6 or 7 spiritual root talent." While speaking, Gao Jinren approached Wang Zhong step by step. "Unfortunately, you are too smart. Don't you know that people who show off their abilities die quickly?" "Is that so? This saber of mine is indeed not a good saber, but it can kill." Gao Jinren's eyes flashed with killing intent. For him, killing people was indeed troublesome, but Zhao Xiaodong was just a child. When the time came, he could secretly find a place to bury Zhao Xiaodong. When others asked, they would say that Zhao Xiaodong had not returned. Who would know that he was the one who killed Zhao Xiaodong? Even if Zhao Dahai and his wife had their suspicions, who would accept it without any evidence? At this moment, he had almost thought of all his escape routes. "You want to kill me?" Wang Zhong's gaze was calm. "Child, remember this in your next life. It's better to be a little foolish so that you won't die so early again." With that, Gao Jinren stretched out his hand toward Wang Zhong, ready to strangle Wang Zhong and throw him into the river when it was dark. At that time, everyone would think that Zhao Xiaodong had drowned. Who knew that at this moment, Wang Zhong's tender little fist would come smashing towards him. Whoosh! Before the fist arrived, a fierce tiger appeared in front of Wang Zhong's fist. This fierce tiger quickly smashed towards Gao Jinren, causing him to be shocked. Bang! Gao Jinren let out a muffled groan. This tiger head actually smashed directly into his chest, and his entire body was sent flying. Gao Jinren clutched his chest, his face revealing a painful expression. Good. Good boy, who did you learn this secret art from?" It's actually so powerful. Wang Zhong did not answer and just walked over. Good. Good disciple, your master admits defeat. I'll give you everything in my hand. Who would have thought that this Gao Jinren would be so shameless to directly admit defeat? I have my secret art in my bosom. I'll pass it to you now, and then I'll leave immediately. With that, Gao Jinren took out a piece of talisman paper and suddenly shouted, "Killing talisman." Although this kind of talisman was mainly used to deal with evil beings, but if the power inside was slightly modified, it could also be used to deal with people. As the talisman paper was thrown, Wang Zhong felt a sharp force from the talisman turning into sharp thorns, attacking him. Without saying anything, Wang Zhong grabbed the table beside him and used his strength to block the whole table in front of him. Bang, bang, bang. A series of invisible thorns pierced the table, making a muffled sound. Wang Zhong threw away the table and quietly took out the talisman paper from his bosom. You want to compete with me on talisman paper? Gao Jinren took out several pieces of talisman paper with both hands and said ferociously, "Little bastard, your ability was taught by me. You want to compete with your master with your unruly rune technique? Tell me honestly, where did you learn the martial arts that you just practiced? Who's strong and who's weak? We'll know after we try. Reckless little bastard. Forget it, I'll get rid of you first, then I'll capture your parents and slowly interrogate them." After fighting for so long, Gao Jinren guessed that Zhao Xiaodong must have obtained a great opportunity, so he could have such a skill. And he guessed that this opportunity was not small, otherwise, how could he be so powerful? Thinking of this, his eyes were burning with passion. As long as he obtained this opportunity, his cultivation would improve, and he might be recognized by Master White and Master Wu. From then on, he would enter the city lord's mansion and be an official. He would be considered a member of the imperial court. With this thought flashing through his mind, both sides threw out their talismans. Just in case, Gao Jinren threw out a total of 4 talismans, while Wang Zhong only had 1. Gao Jinren was overjoyed, thinking that he would definitely be able to get rid of Zhao Xiaodong this time. But in the next moment, the talisman paper that Wang Zhong threw out emitted a tyrannical airflow, instantly sending his talisman paper flying. Then, without losing momentum, it turned into countless needles and attacked him. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The needles pierced Gao Jinren's chest one by one. Puff. Gao Jinren spat out a mouthful of dirty blood and fell to the ground. You. Gao Jinren wanted to speak, but several needles had already pierced his neck, making him unable to speak. Wang Zhong approached him step by step and picked up the curled knife. Your talisman paper. How? I've been practicing talisman paper these days. Do you think I'll be as useless as you, only able to refine those trashy talisman papers after decades? Wang Zhong shook his head and said softly, I still have big secrets, big opportunities. I'll give them to you, I'll give them all to you. There's no need. With a slight flick of the knife, the little leaf flying knife was launched, and the flying knife accurately pierced Gao Jinren's trachea in the neck. This knife did not touch the aorta, so it did not cause blood to splatter on the ground. Gao Jinren covered his neck and gasped for breath. After a while, he completely stopped breathing. Such a big corpse. It's really troublesome. Wang Zhong sighed softly. At this time, a voice came from outside. Son, I just passed by the roast chicken shop. I brought you a crispy roast chicken. Eat it while it's hot. Zhao Dehai's voice came from outside. Wang Zhong walked out. Zhao Dehai was stunned. Son, why did you come out of Master Gao's house? Father, don't be nervous about what I'm going to say next. I found the silver. It was Gao Jinren who took it. I didn't expect a master to do such a thing. I went in and told him that as long as he paid, I wouldn't argue with him. Zhao Dehai pushed the door and entered the house. The scene in front of him frightened Zhao Dehai. The roast chicken in his hand trembled and fell to the ground. Wang Zhong's eyes were sharp and his hands were quick. He caught the roast chicken and closed the door. He said calmly, Father, don't panic. Chapter 124. Zhao Dehai swallowed a mouthful of saliva and turned his head to look at his incomparably calm son. Son, you. Why did you kill someone? It's over. It's over. Originally, I could have let you wait until you're 20, but you killed someone. If the officials find out, you'll be beheaded. Father, you already said that you would only exchange a life for a life if the officials knew about it. However, no one knows about it yet, said Wang Zhong. You mean? Our house is very big. Tonight, we'll find a place and bury him. Then, we'll throw his luggage into the river in the city, creating the illusion that he fell into the water. At that time, everyone will only think that Gao Jinren fell into the water. As for the corpse, we'll look for it for a few days at most. If we can't find it, everyone will only think that he was eaten by an evil creature. Zhao Dehai really couldn't imagine that such a meticulous plan came from his obedient son. Son, but why did you kill him? Zhao Dehai asked worriedly. Wang Zhong told him what happened before, and finally said, at that time, if I didn't do it, I would have died. But he's so powerful. Wang Zhong muttered to himself for a moment. Although he had absolute faith in his parents, he had a level 2 spirit root, and it was very likely that he had already been targeted by the masters in the city lord's residence. The less his parents knew about this, the better. Thus, he replied, I took him by surprise and suddenly killed him. After a while, Zhao Dehai finally accepted the reality in front of him. He gritted his teeth and said, this Gao Jinren is a master, but he committed theft. After he was found out, he even wanted to kill you. Damn it, son, don't worry, I'll dig a hole with you tonight. At night, Zhao Dehai and Wang Zhong came to the backyard and began to dig a hole. In the middle of the night, the two wrapped up Gao Jinren's corpse and buried it in the hole. Then, they filled in the hole with new soil, making it seamless. When they were working, Zhao Rong, the little ghost girl, and the Huang clan kept a lookout for them. After all, the fewer people who knew about this, the better. Even the maids and housekeepers had to be kept in the dark. A few days later, there were rumors in the city that Grandmaster Gao Jinren had not been seen for several days. Then, someone found Master Gao Jinren's belongings in the river. His two most important books were also fished out of the river and handed over to the constables in the city. For a moment, some people guessed that Grandmaster Gao Jinren might have been dragged into the river by some evil creature. Half a year later, there was less and less news about Gao Jinren. Finally, everyone confirmed that Master Gao was dead. Not even his corpse was left behind. Poor guy. During this period, Wang Zhong also found a manuscript among Gao Jinren's belongings. It clearly recorded the formulas and effects of some medicinal herbs. These formulas were all side rooms. For example, if a child was approached by an evil creature, it would be useless to use ordinary formulas. They had to use some Taoist formulas. Just like the spiritual root ash he drank when he was young. In order to test his spiritual root better, Zhao Dehai spent 100 taels of silver to buy a bowl. After drinking it, it was said that it had the effect of strengthening one's spiritual root. After seeing the effect of the spiritual root ash, Wang Zhong was overjoyed. In fact, this thing was a kind of slow-acting medicine that suppressed one's strength. After taking it, it could suppress one's original innate strength and weaken one's bloodline. For example, if a person with a level 3 spiritual root took this medicine, he would be tested as a level 4 spiritual root. A level 4 spiritual root would be tested as a level 5 spiritual root. After he took this medicine, he was tested as a level 2 spiritual root. This meant that his original spiritual root talent should be level 1. I didn't expect my spiritual root talent to be level 1. This is not bad. Wang Zhong clenched his fist, full of confidence. Xiao Dong. At this time, Lin Wu quietly walked in. Xiao Wu. Wang Zhong was slightly surprised. He hadn't seen Xiao Wu since the Lin couple left the Lin prefecture. It had been half a year. During this period of time, Xiao Wu had changed a lot. In the past, she still looked like a little girl. Now, she was much more graceful. Are you practicing boxing again? Xiao Wu looked at the sandbag and asked curiously. Yes, long time no see. How have you been? Recently, I've been locked up at home by my mother. Locked you up? Wang Zhong was stunned. Then, he realized that Xiao Wu's mother was worried that Xiao Wu would come over, so she grounded her. This was normal. In ancient times, women usually couldn't show their faces in public before marriage. Otherwise, they would be seen as indecent. Why are you out again this time? I'm here to see you. After Lin Wu finished speaking, she realized that her words were inappropriate. She quickly explained, it's mainly about boxing. I don't know much about it, so I'm here to ask you. Well, okay then. Show me what you've learned recently. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. Lin Wu's eyes became serious. She aimed her fists at the sandbag in front of her and quickly punched. Bang 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 bang. Her fists were much more powerful than before. However, she only had a level 7 spiritual root, so she didn't have any spiritual root talent. After practicing for a while, Lin Wu panted and stopped. Xiaodong, I've been practicing these days. How is it? Wang Zhong didn't want to hurt her confidence. He praised, very good. You've become much more powerful. In the long run, you can even deal with evil things. Can I deal with evil things? Lin Wu's eyes lit up. Wang Zhong thought for a while. He felt that although Lin Wu's talent wasn't good, she could cultivate inner qi by opening her acupoints. As long as her acupoints were opened, no matter how bad her talent was, she could still cultivate inner qi. It was just that her cultivation speed would be slower in the future. Xiao Wu, of course you can deal with evil things. If you want, I can give you a massage to open your acupoints. In the future, you can easily cultivate inner qi. Although Lin Wu was sensible, she was completely clueless about massage and acupuncture points. She didn't understand anything at all. However, she still understood the words, cultivate inner qi. Her eyes lit up. You can really help me cultivate inner qi. Wang Zhong nodded. I learned from Taoist Gao a few days ago. He taught me all this. This explanation was flawless. Lin Wu didn't have any doubts. She quickly replied, well, thank you so much. Let's go to my room. After half an hour, Lin Wu was only left with belly beans. Although Lin Wu was still young, only around 10 years old, she knew a lot about some things. At this moment, her young and tender cheeks were flushed red. Xiaodong, do you have to do this? What's wrong with this? What are you thinking? Wang Zhong frowned. He thought, I'm only 7 years old. I didn't even say anything. Why are you talking about it? No. Nothing. It's just that there's a difference between men and women. I'm only 7 years old. Oh. Lin Wu thought so too. She closed her eyes and said, come on, I can handle it. Then, Wang Zhong touched a few acupoints. Inner qi gushed out. A huge force was like a storm, destroying everything. Ah! Lin Wu let out a blood-curdling scream. Immediately after, she felt her entire body become much lighter and lighter. After a series of tremors, Lin Wu's initial screams turned into soft grunts. Hum, hum. Finally, it was almost done. Wang Zhong got up, shook his sleeves, and nodded. Now, let's go out and try it. Oh, okay. Lin Wu got up and felt that her body had become much lighter. Especially around her lower abdomen, there was a faint breath of air. She didn't think much about it. She put on her clothes and followed Wang Zhong out. Attack the sandbag with all your strength. Let me see your strength, Wang Zhong said. Chapter 125. Yes. Facing Wang Zhong, Lin Wu did not know why, but she felt that she could not be disappointed. Her whole body tensed up, she stretched out her arm, and with a light shout, the crane fist rushed out. When using the crane fist, Lin Wu felt that it was different from before. In the past, when she used the crane fist, she always felt that her body was heavy, and there was a feeling that she did not have enough strength. But this time, when she used the crane fist, all the pores on her body seemed to open up. Although the fist was light, the strength of the punch was obviously increased. Bang! This punch, before it even touched the sandbag seemed to be blown by a strong wind, and slightly swayed. When the punch reached, the sandbag was directly sent flying, and it was shaking. This punch, naturally, was not as ordinary as Wang Zhong's punch, but the effect was much better than before. It could be said that even if an ordinary strong man were to fight with Lin Wu, he would not be her opponent. This was the difference between a cultivator and an ordinary person. As long as there was qi, no matter how weak it would be much stronger than an ordinary person. This is my punch? Looking at the sandbag in front of her flying, Lin Wu did not dare to believe it. How is it, do you feel qi in your body? Wang Zhong held onto the sandbag, and turned his head to ask. Lin Wu's little head nodded. Your massage is really useful. So you didn't lie to me, I thought. Wang Zhong's face darkened. What did you think? Don't tell me you thought that I wanted to take advantage of you? After saying that, Wang Zhong was speechless. He was only 7 years old. Was he that kind of person? Lin Wu laughed. But from what I see, you don't look like a 7-year-old kid at all. When I'm with you, you look like a little adult. I really don't know how you grew up. You're already like this now. When you grow up, I don't know what you'll be like. After saying that, Lin Wu seemed to have thought of something, and her face suddenly darkened. It's better if you don't grow up. Why do you say that? Because your spirit root is only at the 2nd level. Lin Wu said in disappointment, but she suddenly raised her head and said, Xiaodong, don't worry, I won't abandon you. Although mother won't allow our marriage, I will definitely marry you. When the time comes, the rice will be cooked, and mother won't say anything. When you die in your 20s, I will properly live as a widow, and will definitely not fool around. Wang Zhong stood there dumbfounded. This Lin Wu seemed to know a lot. He found it funny and said, I'm so young, and you already like me? I didn't have any feelings for you before, but after interacting with you, I feel that you're very capable. Lin Wu's face was bright red, and she looked particularly cute. Let's talk about these things later. Before I'm sure how long I can live, there's no need to get married, Wang Zhong said indifferently. No. Lin Wu came over and pulled Wang Zhong's small hand, her big eyes blinking. I know you're worried about my mother, but I'm actually fine. When the time comes, the rice will be cooked, and you can get me pregnant. Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong felt that he was at risk of collapsing on this topic, so he simply changed the topic. Alright, I think we should continue talking about the problem with your martial arts just now. Did you feel a trace of qi just now? Speaking of serious matters, Lin Wu quickly nodded. Yes, I felt a trace of qi. This qi is strength, and it's also an important sign of becoming a cultivator. Congratulations, Xiao Wu, from today onwards, you've successfully become a cultivator. I'm a cultivator? Lin Wu was stunned for a while, and said in surprise, You mean, I'm a cultivator like Master Wu and Master White? That's right. It's that simple. Lin Wu never thought that becoming a cultivator would be so simple. This was simply inconceivable. Although you're a cultivator, there are strong and weak cultivators among cultivators. You can only be regarded as a cultivator at the lowest level. You can deal with some evil beings, but you still can't deal with the strong ones. What you need to do now is practice more. I understand, I'll work hard. Lin Wu was full of confidence. There's one more important thing you have to remember. Wang Zhong put his hand on Lin Wu's shoulder and said seriously, Remember, you can't tell anyone that you're a cultivator, not even your parents. Why? This world is not the same as what we know. Sometimes you might not even know who the enemy is. In short, remember, if you're a cultivator, the stronger you are, the more people will target you. At that time, not only you, but also your parents' lives will be in danger, understand? Wang Zhong didn't say it explicitly. After all, Lin Wu was still young. If he told her casually, at such a young age, it was hard to guarantee that she wouldn't be able to hide it. I know, I won't tell anyone. Lin Wu nodded. After that, Wang Zhong let Lin Wu continue to practice her strength, and casually gave her a few pointers, which benefited Lin Wu a lot. In the following days, Lin Wu would always take the opportunity to sneak away from home to come here and learn from Wang Zhong. Perhaps because of the practice, the short Lin Wu grew a lot taller. The originally small place also gradually became bigger under Wang Zhong's eyes. The sun rose and set, and spring came from the east. In the blink of an eye, Wang Zhong was 12 years old. During this period, he would only go out during the day when he had something to do. Usually, he would train at home. Now, it was easy for him to deal with the evil creatures in the city, so he no longer sought to deal with the evil creatures in the city. Instead, he took Zhao Rong with him and tried to let Zhao Rong absorb these evil creatures. Previously, Gao Jinren had told him that there were many ways for evil creatures to grow. Under the condition that they didn't harm people, the simplest way was to devour other evil creatures. However, he later found that evil creatures couldn't directly devour each other because Zhao Rong didn't know how to do it at all. Therefore, Wang Zhong guessed that evil creatures also needed to practice some kind of martial arts. This martial arts was a medium for them to devour other creatures. Therefore, Wang Zhong could only give up. Seeing that it was almost the new year, Lin Wu came a lot less often. On this day, snowflakes were floating in the sky. Wang Zhong finished his practice and went back to his room to practice drawing talismans. After drawing for a while, Zhao Rong said behind him, "Xiao Wu must be very good at practicing martial arts now. Unfortunately, it seems that she still can't see me." Wang Zhong nodded. He also noticed this. Although Lin Wu had cultivated qi, she still couldn't see evil creatures. Therefore, he guessed that this was probably a kind of talent. He had a level 1 spiritual root. At that time, he could already see evil creatures without cultivating qi. However, Lin Wu still couldn't. It could only be said that her talent was not good. As the two were talking, they heard a noise outside. Wang Zhong opened the door and saw Zhao Dehai and his mother, Wei Yan, walking over. "Outrageous. Our son saved that little bastard. How dare he tear down our son's corner? Bah bah." Zhao Dehai cursed angrily. "Lower your voice." Wei Yan advised. "Can you lower your voice? Who on this street doesn't know that Lao Lin and I have already arranged a marriage between Xiao Dong and Lin Wu? That Sun Dazhuang directly asked a matchmaker to matchmake them. Isn't he tearing down our son's corner? Xiao Dong shouldn't have saved that little bastard." Hearing his parents arguing, Wang Zhong walked out helplessly. "Father, mother. Yes, you heard what they said just now?" Zhao Dehai's face was gloomy. "Yes." Wang Zhong nodded. "They've decided?" "I also heard from the aunt next door. Sun Dazhuang asked the nearby matchmaker Yang to help his son, Daniu, go to the Lin family to matchmake." Wei Yan sighed. "Son, don't worry. If you can't marry Xiao Wu, we'll find you a better one." Chapter 126. After Wei Yan finished speaking, both of them felt a little sour in their hearts. Although Wei Yan said so, both of them understood that their son would not live past 20 years. Who would want their daughter to marry a short-lived man? Even if she married him, she would probably not find a good one. Those women who married into the family would definitely covet the family's wealth. When Xiao Dong died at 20 years old, she would definitely remarry. Thinking of this, Wei Yan's eyes turned red again. "It's okay. No matter what, the Zhao family has to pass down the legacy. I will find some women for you these days," Zhao Dehai said. "Well, Song Xiao Xiao in the east of the city is not bad. Although her husband died 2 years ago, she doesn't have any children," Wei Yan said. Zhao Dehai nodded. "The girl in the west of the city is also not bad. Although she has 2 children, she is down-to-earth and hard-working. By the way, Li Qin is also not bad. She is only 18 years old. Although her parents are dead and she is alone, there are many matchmakers," Wei Yan said. "Li Qin is not bad, but she has buck teeth and is only 1.4 meters tall. That's not a big deal. as long as she can bear children. Father and mother are worried that I won't be able to marry, so they are introducing widows and unwanted girls to me." Wang Zhong hurriedly stopped. "This. Father, I am only 12. It's okay. Those young masters already have maids to warm their rooms when they are 10 years old. What are you afraid of?" Zhao Dehai glared at him. "Listen to me on this matter. You should work hard and try to give birth to a few fat sons. My Zhao family didn't have many children in my generation, and I regret it to death. Now it's up to you." "Father, there is really no need." Before Wang Zhong could finish speaking, Wei Yan interrupted him and said, "Son, you should listen to your father on this matter. Although you have been tested to have a level 2 spiritual root, our Zhao family's rules are good. It won't be a problem for us to find a few wives. Although those are widows, they can still make do." Therefore, the couple ignored Wang Zhong's strong protest and left while discussing. Wang Zhong was a little dumbfounded. What was this? He really didn't need to get married so early. In the evening, Wang Zhong heard from the neighbors that Sun Dazhuang had invited matchmaker Yang to bring a lot of gifts to the Lin family. However, he didn't know if he had succeeded or not. "Little brother, I think Xiao Wu is also interested in you. You should seize the opportunity. Otherwise, are you really willing to see Xiao Wu marry Sun Daniu?" At night, Zhao Rong sighed as she watched Wang Zhong practice drawing talismans. Wang Zhong put down the brush and sighed, "I still don't know what my fate will be in the future. I'm afraid that I'll delay Xiao Wu if I decide my life too early. But if you let Xiao Wu marry Sun Daniu, what if Xiao Wu is unwilling?" Zhao Rong reminded. Wang Zhong shook his head. He didn't know what to say now. At this time, he suddenly heard rustling sounds coming from the back of his room. "Did you hear that? There seems to be someone behind you," Zhao Rong said. "Good fellow, you little thief actually dared to sneak into my house." Wang Zhong gave a cold snort and walked out. It was very dark outside the house. The servant girl and the housekeeper's parents had already gone to bed. Wang Zhong strode towards the backyard. Sure enough, Wang Zhong saw a thin and weak figure hiding in the bushes in the backyard. Wang Zhong gradually exerted force in his hand and walked over. He lightly shouted, "You're courting death." He stretched out his hand and directly slapped the figure in the bushes. Ouch! The figure lightly groaned and fell to the ground. Lin Wu. Seeing the person who came, Wang Zhong was stunned. "Why is it you? Fortunately, I didn't hit you too hard. Otherwise, you would have been blown up by me." Wang Zhong frowned and hurriedly helped Lin Wu up. Lin Wu covered her shoulder with a bitter expression. "So it's you. I thought it was your housekeeper and the others. I wanted to hide for a while. Are you okay?" Wang Zhong touched Lin Wu's shoulder. She grimaced in pain. "It hurts." "You're too careless. How could this happen?" Wang Zhong said helplessly. "Let's go. Let's talk in my room." The two of them entered the room. Wang Zhong slightly pulled the clothes on Lin Wu's shoulder. The originally white skin was now bruised. "Sorry, I caused you to misunderstand," Lin Wu mumbled. Wang Zhong shook his head. "Why did you come in the middle of the night?" "I couldn't wait. And get me pregnant." Lin Wu made up her mind and simply said. After saying that, she directly lay on the bed and closed her eyes. "Come on. I can withstand it." Over the years, Lin Wu had grown up to be slim and elegant. She was 1.7 meters tall, had a graceful figure, and a delicate face. She was a famous little beauty in the nearby street. However, seeing her lying on his bed like this made Wang Zhong's mind a little confused. "This. Xiao Wu, are you sick?" Lin Wu opened her eyes. "What sick? Do you think I'm sick?" "No, it's just that you look like this. Have you forgotten the promise we made when we were young? We are going to get married. Although my mother stopped me, I thought about it. Since we love each other, we have to be together. So, if we are together now, my mother won't say anything." Lin Wu, don't make a fuss. Wang Zhong lowered his voice, worried that it was too loud and would wake up his parents who lived next door. I'm not making a fuss. Lin Wu sat up and pulled Wang Zhong's hand. Today, a matchmaker came to my house. Sun Dainiu wants to marry me. My mother and the matchmaker also talked about the betrothal gift. Is that so? Wang Zhong sighed. He also had a good impression of Lin Wu. After all, he watched her grow up. He watched her slowly grow from a little brat to a little lowly, and then to the slim and elegant woman she was today. However, he hadn't solved his own problems yet. Naturally, he didn't want to be so fast. Seeing that Wang Zhong didn't move, Lin Wu put Wang Zhong's hand on her stomach. Do you have no feelings for me? Xiao Wu. Wang Zhong was about to speak when Lin Wu covered herself with the quilt. I'm going to sleep first. When tomorrow comes, I should have a child. Wang Zhong frowned. It turned out that this child naively thought that sleeping together was enough. Thinking of this, he was amused. Little girls were so naive. He didn't point it out. He covered himself with the quilt and couldn't help but put his arm around Lin Wu's waist and fell asleep. At night, Lin Wu chatted a lot. These days, she was watched even more closely by her mother, so she could only choose to sneak out when everyone was asleep. Now that her strength had increased a lot, it was very easy for her to do things like climbing over walls. As for Sun Dainiu, that guy often went over to pester her, but Lin Wu refused to see him. Hearing this, Wang Zhong didn't know why, but he felt warm and comfortable in his heart. And when he heard that Sun Dainiu had been pestering Lin Wu shamelessly, he felt inexplicably uncomfortable. Xiaodong, don't worry. I'm yours. I won't marry Sun Dainiu, Lin Wu murmured. Light breathing sounds could be heard in the room. She fell asleep. Wang Zhong couldn't fall asleep no matter how hard he tried. A woman treated him like this. How could he let her down? Of course not, so he had to make plans for the future. I'm going to join the guide team at the age of 15. I must find out what's going on in the outside world. The next day, before dawn, Lin Wu stretched herself happily. Well, the rooster is about to crow. I'm going back. Wang Zhong looked at the sky outside. It wasn't bright yet. Do you usually wake up so early? Well, didn't you say to wake up early to practice martial arts? Wang Zhong was slightly surprised. No wonder Lin Wu's progress was good. It seemed that it had something to do with her diligence. I have to leave early. Otherwise, if my parents see that I'm not at home, it will be troublesome. Lin Wu held her stomach and carefully got off the bed. Her appearance was quite strange. Why are you holding your stomach? Wang Zhong looked at Lin Wu and was a little curious. We've already slept for a night. You held my stomach for a night and made me pregnant. So I have to be careful. What if the movement is too intense and the flesh in my stomach is hurt? Wang Zhong was stunned. He wanted to explain to Lin Wu, but after thinking about it, he gave up. Then you have to be careful. When you go back, how are you going to tell your parents about us? Chapter 127. Speaking of serious matters, Lin Wu thought for a moment and gritted her teeth. My father supports me and my family, but my mother. Sigh. Anyway, I'll make it clear to Sun Dainiu. It's best not to say that. If your mother finds out, she'll be angry. Then what do you think we should do? If there's no other way, I'll ask my father to propose marriage. We can temporarily get engaged. Wang Zhong thought for a moment. This was the only way now. All right then, I'll go back first. I'll send you off. It's still dark outside. Before dawn, the weather is cold and there are many evil creatures. With me around, evil creatures won't dare to come close. After Wang Zhong finished speaking, he quickly put on his clothes. Let's go. Lin Wu smiled sweetly. You're so good to me. After saying that, she skipped out of the room. Wang Zhong shook his head. In the end, she was still a little girl. Wang Zhong opened the door and the two walked out. At this moment, the sky was just beginning to brighten. There was still a layer of white frost on the flowers and trees in the courtyard. A faint white mist floated in the air. Xiaodong, what do you think our child will be called in the future? Nothing had happened between the two of them, but Lin Wu was caressing her stomach, looking as though she was about to give birth. Wang Zhong found it funny. Wang Zhong could only go along with her words. It depends on the gender. Our child will definitely be able to cultivate qi. When the time comes, he'll be a powerful cultivator. As the two talked, when they were about to reach home, a cry of surprise suddenly came from behind. Xiao Wu, why are you with him? Wang Zhong turned his head and saw Sun Dainiu walking over with 2 slaughtered hens in his hands. Xiao Wu, he has a short lifespan. How can you be with him? Aren't you afraid of shortening your lifespan? Dainiu, Xiaodong saved you when you were young. How can you say that about him? Lin Wu stood in front of Wang Zhong and said without showing any weakness. Saving me is one thing. I'm very grateful to him. But this is different. I'm doing this for your own good. Sun Dainiu angrily stomped his feet and showed the 2 hens in his hands. I wanted to go to your house to give you hens. You're actually with him. No need. I already told the matchmaker yesterday. We're not compatible. Dainiu, you're a good person. But I already have someone. What? Sun Dainiu staggered backwards as if he was hit by a heavy blow. You actually like this short-lived person. His spiritual root is only at the 2nd level. Do you want to live like a widow? I'm already prepared. This. Sun Dainiu didn't know what to say for a moment. Suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. Xiao Wu, why are you with him so early in the morning? Where did you come from? Hearing this, Lin Wu blushed. It's none of your business. Sun Dainiu wasn't an idiot. Based on the route of Zhao Xiaodong and Lin Wu, and the fact that they were holding hands and going home together, it was obvious that Lin Wu stayed at Zhao Xiaodong's house last night. You're actually so heartless. Sun Dainiu angrily roared. How am I heartless? Sun Dainiu, I won't argue with you on account that you're my childhood playmate. Now, take your hens and go home, Lin Wu said angrily. No, you're really a disgrace to a gentleman. A disgrace to a gentleman. Sun Dainiu shouted angrily. Wang Zhong frowned and said, Sun Dainiu, Lin Wu and I are already engaged. How is this a disgrace to a gentleman? Sun Dainiu looked like a boor. Unexpectedly, he was also somewhat bookish. He continued to shout, Isn't this a disgrace to a gentleman? You're not married yet. How can you do this kind of thing? I feel ashamed for you. As he shouted, a group of people suddenly came from the direction of the city gate. The 2 people in the lead were holding long swords. Their bodies were covered in blood as they limped over. Looking at the people behind them, Lin Wu and Sun Dainiu jumped in fright. The 2 people were dragging a few ropes in their hands. On the other end of the ropes was a handcart. The handcart was wrapped in straw mats. A few feet were exposed from the straw mats. It was obvious that the 2 people were dragging corpses. The handcart rumbled towards them. Wang Zhong's eyes were dignified. After being in the city for so many years, he recognized that these people were the guides of the city. In the past, the guides had also lost people. But this time, why did so many people die all of a sudden? Looking at the handcart, there were more than a dozen corpses wrapped in straw mats. Wang Zhong quickly walked over and cupped his hands. 2 lords, what happened? The leader was a tall and thin man with a blade. He coldly glanced at them. A large number of evil creatures appeared at the mass grave. They're coming here. I didn't succeed in luring those evil creatures away. They're all dead. Captain, these brats don't understand. Let's go quickly. The evil creatures are coming. They're expected to arrive in 3 days. We have to quickly inform the city lord. Okay. The tall and thin man nodded. The 2 people dragged the handcart and walked unsteadily. The handcart was still dripping blood. Along the way, the blood dripped onto the ground. There's actually a problem at the mass grave. This is troublesome. Sun Daniu couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. Xiaodong, what should we do now? Let's go home first. When the time comes, we'll listen to what the city lord has to say. If there's really a big problem outside the city lord will definitely inform everyone. Wang Zhong said. Zhao Xiaodong, you're out of luck. I remember my father said that when he was young, there was a time when the guides outside the city died. After that, the city lord arranged for a group of 14-year-olds to be the guides. He didn't expect that the 14-year-olds would all die. Then, the 13-year-olds were sent to lead the evil creatures away. Sun Daniu coldly looked at Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong's eyes flashed. Is that so? I have no reason to lie to you. Although you stole the woman I love, you did save me. I, Sun Daniu, am the most reasonable person when it comes to doing things. Therefore, I just want to warn you in advance. If the guide team suffers heavy casualties this time, you know the consequences. Wang Zhong nodded. You guys take care. Sun Daniu took the 2 chickens and directly left. It's okay, Xiaodong, Lin Wu said solemnly. Wang Zhong was speechless for a while and said, You go back. Okay, I'll find a way to secretly come out and accompany you. Lin Wu looked back 3 times with each step and finally walked back to her house. Seeing her enter the house, Wang Zhong went home. Along the way, Wang Zhong pondered. The evil creatures outside the city appeared in the mass grave. The guides suffered heavy casualties. He didn't know what the city lord's mansion should do next. But one thing was for sure. If the city lord's mansion didn't do anything, according to the guides, the evil creatures would attack the city. When that time comes, once they invade Snow City, it would cause even more casualties. At that time, the entire city would be in danger. Chapter 128. I don't know when a group of zombies appeared in the mass grave outside the city, and a bunch of evil creatures are heading towards our Snow City. Early in the morning, no one knew where the news came from, but everyone in the streets and alleys knew about it. The evil creatures are coming. Master White and Master Wu are going to make a move this time, right? That would be strange. 15 years ago, didn't they rely on the guide team to lead the evil creatures away? Sigh, Master White and Master Wu are so strong, why don't they make a move? In the auspicious inn, many diners were talking at once. At the counter, Wang Zhong was taking notes with a brush. When he heard what the customers were saying, his eyebrows furrowed slightly. He didn't expect that other than the evil creatures, there would be a large group of zombies. Wang Zhong had heard about the group of zombies. It could be said that the group of zombies was a higher level than the ordinary evil creatures. When zombies appeared, they would appear in groups. They had a physical body, and when they caught a person, they would bite their flesh. It was very cruel. Humph, the masters in the city lord's mansion are used to enjoying themselves. They won't make a move unless the situation is urgent. A diner might have drunk too much, so he couldn't help but mock. Lier, you're crazy. If the masters heard this, I'm afraid you'll be dragged to the guide team. Hearing this, Lier trembled and sobered up a little. Sorry, I said too much. Well, it's better to keep your voice down. Anyway, I heard that many people in the guide team died this time. I heard that 8 of the team leaders died. 3 of the team leaders died. Even the team leaders died so many times. Those team leaders were all experts who cultivated qi. Someone exclaimed. So what if they cultivated qi? Not only are there many evil creatures outside, once the group of zombies appears, there must be a strong evil creature controlling the group of zombies. Those team leaders will still die if they encounter a strong evil creature. This is troublesome. This is more dangerous than 15 years ago. I really don't know how the city lord's mansion will handle this. If the city is not handled well, the evil creatures will break into the city. Then won't we? Hearing this, The diners at the table all changed their expressions and became restless. Without a doubt, once the evil beings outside the city rushed into the city, it would be troublesome. They were only ordinary people. How could they deal with those brutal evil beings? Everyone, don't be so suspicious. Everyone has to believe in the city lord. They will definitely think of a way. When Wang Zhong heard this, he sighed. In truth, their city had two levels. Ordinary people lived in the outer city, while the city lord's mansion lived in the inner city. There were many experts in the inner city, and the city walls were dozens of meters tall. Even if the outer city was breached, the city lord's mansion would be fine. However, Wang Zhong also believed that the ordinary citizens were the foundation of the city lord's mansion. Unless it was absolutely necessary, the city lord's mansion would not abandon these ordinary citizens. However, he did not know what the city lord's mansion would do next. Wang Zhong was lost in thought when he saw a commotion outside the door. He saw a group of constables running quickly. One of them was a chief constable who was riding on a horse. He shouted to the crowd on the street, "Listen up, the guide team suffered heavy casualties yesterday. The evil beings are coming here. The city lord has ordered that all those who have a level 2 spiritual root and are under the age of 14 report to the city lord's mansion. All those who have a level 3 spiritual root and are under the age of 24 report to the city lord's mansion. All those who have a level 4 spiritual root and are under the age of 34 report to the city lord's mansion. All those who are above the age of 34 must go to the city lord's mansion today. If you defy the order, you will be punished for the crime of rebellion and your whole family will be executed. The order is to recruit volunteers to join the guide team. Those who join the guide team will be rewarded with 5 taels of silver. In the future, they will be paid 2 taels of silver every month. This is the notice. I hope everyone can pass it on." The chief constable showed the notice in his hand and shouted to everyone on the street, "Everyone, now that Snow City is in danger, my family is also in the city. I hope that those who are knowledgeable can join the guide team to lead the evil beings away and protect the peace of Snow City. Please." "All right, to the next street, let's go." "Go, go, go." The group of people quickly left, leaving behind 2 junior constables who held a few notices and quickly pasted them on the street. The contents of these notices were the same as what the chief constable had said. However, at the back, it was written that as long as those who volunteered to join the guide team, not only would they be rewarded handsomely, but they would also be rewarded handsomely if they killed a powerful evil being. At the end, it was also written that if the volunteer died, the city lord's mansion would compensate them with 10 taels of silver as compensation. Although this amount of silver was nothing to a wealthy family like Wang Zhong, to an ordinary family, 3 taels of silver was enough to cover half a year's worth of expenses. Therefore, when some of the poorer people saw this, they started to have some thoughts about it. Wang Zhong wore a mask and squeezed through the crowd. After a few glances, he gradually understood. I didn't expect the conditions for volunteers to be so good. It's a pity that the conditions for those with low spiritual roots are not so good. Wang Zhong shook his head and sighed. Those with low spiritual roots were forced to join the guide team. Therefore, other than the monthly 2 taels of silver, there were no other benefits. If they died outside, they would just die. Therefore, those with low spiritual roots were not worth their lives. They were called the death team. However, there was one thing that was the same, and that was the handsome reward for killing a powerful evil being. For example, if they killed a ghost general, they would be rewarded with a gold ingot. A gold ingot was equivalent to 100 taels of silver. However, according to the passers-by, the so-called ghost general was an evil being that controlled zombies. Wherever the ghost general appeared, there would usually be many evil beings around it. It could control many evil beings, and its strength was incomparably strong. Therefore, it was difficult to deal with the ghost general. It was really too difficult. When Wang Zhong returned to the inn, Zhao Dahai had just returned from outside. He stared at Wang Zhong and sighed, "Xiaodong, follow me into the house." "Got it, father." The two entered the house. Wang Zhong looked at his old father in front of him and found that Zhao Dahai's back was hunched even more. Zhao Dehai seemed to have aged 10 years today. He came into the house and sighed. I just went to visit an old friend. He was a soldier in the city lord's mansion. He told me that the guide team yesterday, other than the few captains, vice-captains and sergeants, the rest of the soldiers, were all dead. Wang Zhong's heart thumped. All dead. Yes, it's like this. A few days ago, a captain found traces of a ghost general in the mass grave. Generally speaking, the discovery of a ghost general must be dealt with in advance. Otherwise, once the ghost general appears, it will be very troublesome. So, they gathered their men and surrounded the mass grave. But they didn't expect that 2 ghost generals would appear. Not only that, there was a ghost general with over 100 years of cultivation. It led countless corpses to surround the guide team. In the end, the guide team suffered heavy casualties. Only a few experts managed to escape. Zhao Dehai's information was very useful to Wang Zhong. From this, he also understood that the so-called guide team was not just a motley crew. Although the soldiers below were ordinary, they were basically people with low spirit roots who were forcibly sent over. But some of the captains were still quite strong. The weakest in the guide team were the soldiers. Above them were the sergeants. The so-called sergeants were actually the squad leaders. With some martial arts, they would normally lead 5 people. Above the sergeants was the captain. A captain would normally lead 5 sergeants. Under the captain was the vice-captain. His role was to assist the captain. In addition, if something happened to the captain, then the vice-captain would lead the team. No wonder the city lord's mansion wanted to recruit so many people. Wang Zhong said. Zhao Dehai said in a deep voice, "This is not the most troublesome thing. I received news that this time, the people who are 14, 24, and 34 years old are being recruited. But this batch of people doesn't seem to be enough. The city lord's mansion is now thinking of recruiting people who are 23 and 33 years old. If these 2 groups of people are also being recruited, it is very likely that they will recruit people who are 13 years old." Wang Zhong nodded. He knew what Zhao Dehai was worried about. Because in half a month, it would be the new year. And at that time, he would be 13 years old. Chapter 129. Bang 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 bang. In the blink of an eye, it was the end of the year. After today, everyone was 1 year older. As for Wang Zhong, he was already 13 years old. As for Lin Wu, she was already 16. Compared to the bustling New Year in the past, this year's New Year was especially quiet. Many people had already packed their belongings and were waiting to leave Snow City. The reason was self-evident, because the zombies outside the city were getting closer and closer. Half a month ago, the zombies outside the city had attacked the mass graves, and countless zombies had rushed here. In one night, the guide team had suffered heavy casualties, and only a few captains, vice-captains, and sergeants had survived. Although the mayor's office had recruited soldiers, and under the leadership of a few captains, they were prepared to lure the zombies away from the city. But the plan had failed again. The new guide team had only lured the zombies a few kilometers away, and the zombies had actually changed their direction and were heading towards Snow City. The crisis had come again. The news spread into the city, and for a moment, everyone in Snow City was in a state of panic. Even though it was the new year, everyone had lost the festive mood. In the auspicious inn, Zhao Dehai and the others were the same. They had already packed their belongings, and were waiting with the housekeeper and a few servants, waiting for the bad news to arrive so that they could leave immediately. Everyone listen, although you are my servants, but after so many years, I, Zhao Dehai, have already treated you as my family. If you don't want to leave, I will give each of you 10 taels of silver, and you can stay here. Zhao Dehai looked at his servants and said, "Shopkeeper, I, Old Li, have been your servant since young. Wherever you go, I will go." Li Bo pulled his wife and quickly said. The rest of the servants nodded. "Good, don't worry, when the time comes, we will leave here and go to the county next door. At that time I, Zhao Dehai, will have a bite to eat, and will not let you down." Just as Zhao Dehai finished speaking, there was a knock on the door. Because of the horde of zombies outside the city, all the shops on the street were closed, and the auspicious inn was no exception. Hearing someone knocking on the door, Zhao Dehai frowned and shouted, "Let's go. We won't be doing business for the next few days." "Old Zhao, it's me, Lao Lin." Lin Prefecture's anxious voice rang out. "Lao Lin." Zhao Dehai hurriedly ran over to open the door and saw Lin Prefecture pushing a cart full of his family's belongings. His wife, Xiao Ji, followed behind him. She was also carrying bags of various sizes. She had always been a well-dressed lady, but now she looked like a refugee. It was a funny sight. At this moment, Lin Wu was also at the side, carrying a few bags. "Lao Lin, you." Without waiting for Zhao Dehai to finish, Lin Prefecture hurriedly said, "Let's talk inside." Then, a few people helped to move the luggage into the house. "Old Zhao, if the city can't be defended, let's escape together," Lin Prefecture said as soon as he entered the house. "We can take care of each other on the road. After all, I'm only a man. My wife and daughter are both as pretty as flowers, so we won't be targeted by thieves." Lin Prefecture looked rough, but his mind was quite meticulous. Xiao Ji cried and said, "Brother Zhao, please help us. Our house was robbed just now." "Ah. What happened?" Wei Yan quickly asked. "Just now, there was a group of people fleeing. They suddenly rushed into my house and took all the bacon that was drying at the door. I went out to stop them, but I didn't expect. They would humiliate me." Xiao Ji wiped her tears. Now, Xiao Wu came out in time and stopped them. Otherwise, sob, my body would be dirty, and I wouldn't be able to face anyone. Hearing this, everyone in the house was very angry. "This is ridiculous. The evil creatures outside haven't even attacked yet, and we're already in a mess." Zhao Dehai said, "Sigh, it's a pity that the world is in chaos now. We don't know where the constables are. We can't catch them even if we want to," Lin Prefecture said angrily. "But I didn't expect Xiao Wu to know Kung Fu," Wei Yan said. "This child has been practicing Kung Fu since she was young." Lin Prefecture looked at Lin Wu with satisfaction. Lin Wu suddenly stood beside Wang Zhong and said embarrassedly, "Xiao Dong taught me." "This?" Xiao Ji was stunned. "Xiao Dong taught you?" "Xiao Wu used to come here to watch me practice, so I taught her a little," Wang Zhong said. "I see." Xiao Ji nodded. "Mother, you won't be angry, right?" Lin Wu looked at Xiao Ji. Lin Prefecture said, "What's there to be angry about? You two are already married. A few days ago, Sun Daniu's family came to talk about marriage, but I chased the matchmaker away." Seeing how close the two of them were, Xiao Ji sighed. Fine. Although Xiao Dong's life is short, since you two are so loving, as your mother, I can't break you two up." As she spoke, she walked in front of Wang Zhong. "Xiao Dong, don't blame Auntie, it's just that." "Auntie, you don't have to say any more. I understand. Please don't worry, I've found a way to live." In order not to worry his family, Wang Zhong decided to release some news to make them feel more at ease. "Really?" Zhao Dehai was surprised. "Yes." Wang Zhong nodded solemnly. "If that's the case, then that's great. Now that evil creatures are running rampant outside, the future of our city is unknown. Since there's nothing else, we might as well let the two of you get married here," Lin Prefecture said, looking at his wife worriedly. Unexpectedly, Xiao Ji nodded without hesitation and said, "Well, let's get married. Otherwise, if the evil creatures enter the city, I don't know if we'll have a chance to get married." After saying that, she wiped her tears with a handkerchief. Obviously, she was worried about what to do in the future. "Haha, since mother and grandfather have said so, I'll hurry up and cook a few dishes." Zhao Dehai rubbed his hands. "Li Bo, why don't you go to the kitchen to live?" "Yes, master." The other servants also prepared. Zhao Dehai laughed and said, "Today, I'll cook personally." Wang Zhong and Lin Wu looked at each other. Lin Wu lowered her head and turned her head away embarrassedly. I'll go and clean up. Why did it seem like they were going to get married? Wang Zhong was a little dumbfounded. Although he felt that it was a little childish, seeing everyone so happy, he couldn't say anything. Soon, Zhao Dehai cooked 2 tables full of dishes. Because there were so many people, they put the 2 tables together and arranged the chairs one by one. Zhao Dehai was a good cook. The dishes were delicious. There were chicken, duck, fish, braised pork, and all kinds of dishes. In total, there were more than 20 dishes. Then, he took out some good wine and everyone sat down. Zhao Dehai said with emotion, I've been in the restaurant business all my life. I didn't expect to leave here. But fortunately, before I leave, I can see my son marry Xiao Wu. I'm very happy. Lin Prefecture also took out a wine glass. Cheers. At this moment, Wang Zhong was pulled to the room by the maid Sui Sui. Lin Wu was already wearing a red dress and a red hood, waiting for Wang Zhong to come. Wife. Wang Zhong entered the room. Let's go out and do the wedding ceremony. Okay. Lin Wu nodded embarrassedly. Because of the chaos outside, the wedding ceremony was simple. Wang Zhong still knew a little about the general etiquette, so he didn't need others to remind him. After that, Wang Zhong carried Lin Wu on his back and walked towards the main hall. First, bow to heaven and earth. Second, bow to the parents. Husband and wife, bow to each other. With Li Bo's loud voice, Wang Zhong and Lin Wu officially went through the wedding ceremony. After today, the 2 were officially married. Then, the 2 took the wine and poured wine for the parents in the hall. After everything was done, Xiao Ji also let go of her thoughts. She took Wang Zhong's hand and said, Our daughter will be handed over to you. You have to treat her well. Don't worry, mother-in-law. Wang Zhong nodded. Okay, everyone eat at the table. This time, everyone had a good time eating. However, no one expected that while everyone was eating, the door would suddenly be kicked open. A bailiff rushed in with an official document in his hand and shouted, The corpse tide outside the city is approaching. The guide team has suffered heavy casualties and is in urgent need of manpower. The city lord has ordered that all men aged 13, 23, and 33 years old should report to the city lord's mansion. Those who disobey will be regarded as rebellion and their whole family will be executed. Chapter 130. What? Zhao Dehai stood up. Another conscription. When the constable was about to leave, Lin Prefecture rushed over and shouted, Wait a minute. Zing. The constable suddenly pulled out his sword and shouted, I still have official business to attend to. Those who disturb official business will be killed without mercy. These constables, why are they so overbearing now? Wang Zhong frowned, but he did not impulsively retort. Instead, he cupped his hands and said, Brother, please don't be angry, we just want to ask clearly. Yes, we want to ask something. Zhao Dehai took out 10 copper coins. Brother, please make an exception. After receiving the money, the constable's face softened and nodded. It's not that I don't want to talk, it's just that I still have to go to more than 20 houses. I'm busy with official business. If you want to ask anything, please hurry. Didn't they just start conscription half a month ago? Why are they conscripting 13-year-old children now? Zhao Dehai asked. It's so simple. To be honest, more than half of the soldiers that were recruited half a month ago have been killed or injured. The city lord's mansion has even sent out the city lord's personal guards. Even half of us constables have been sent out. As he spoke, the constable glanced at Wang Zhong. You are Zhao Xiaodong who only has a level 2 spirit root. Hurry up and go. Before you go, it's best to find a few things to save your life. It's best if you have a good relationship with the captains. This way, if something happens, they can help you. Little brother, how many more days until the corpse tide comes? Zhao Dehai asked. About a day or so. Hey, I see that you are packing big and small bags. Do you want to leave the city? The constable asked. Yes. I advise you to give up on this idea. Now that the city gates are closed, no one is allowed to leave the city. Ah, how can this be? Xiao Ji suddenly became anxious. Yes, isn't this deliberately trying to kill us? Zhao Dehai anxiously said. Humph, you think it's okay to leave the city? Not long ago, 3 families escaped the city in the middle of the night, but didn't they still come back? Now that Snow City is surrounded by evil creatures, you think you can survive if you leave the city? I'm afraid no one will be there to collect your corpse. I didn't expect it to be like this. Zhao Dehai sat on the stool blankly. All right, I still have work to do. Goodbye. After putting away the copper coins, the bailiff quickly left. If there's really no other way, I'll use my connections. Xiao Dong, you don't have to be a soldier anymore. Our families will run away tonight, Zhao Dehai said after some thought. But didn't that person say that the outside is already surrounded by evil beings? Xiao Ji asked. For a moment, no one spoke. The atmosphere was terrifyingly gloomy. Wang Zhong looked at the big family in the room and finally stood up, saying, Everyone, stay here. Xiao Dong, do you have any ideas? Lin Wu asked. In the past, when there was no corpse tied, no one dared to go out. From time to time, passers-by would be killed outside. Now that the corpse tide is coming, it will only be more dangerous outside. Although it's dangerous inside the city, at least there's a wall to block it. Moreover, it's full of people. The masters won't let evil creatures enter the city, so we don't have to be afraid for the time being. Wang Zhong stood up and drank the wine. As for me, I'll report to the mayor's residence immediately. No. Wei Yan suddenly became anxious. Your father and I will use our connections to not let you become a soldier. Yes. Didn't you hear that many of the guides died? Do you know what we call the guides in private? They're suicide squads. If you go now, you'll die. Xiao Ji didn't want her daughter to lose her husband right after she got married, so she anxiously shouted. It's okay, I can protect myself. Wang Zhong shook his head, but Lin Wu grabbed his arm. Xiao Dong, don't. I've been learning martial arts since I was young, just for this moment. Everyone, let's eat. After dinner, I'll report to the mayor's residence. This meal, everyone had a bad taste. When they were almost done eating, Wang Zhong put down his chopsticks, picked up his bronze sword and some luggage, tied a water bottle around his waist, and walked out of his house. Brother Xiao Dong. At this time, Zhao Rong's ghost floated over. Sister Rong, I'm going to join the army. I wanted to take you with me, but the evil creatures outside are too strong. You should stay here and take care of your family. Wang Zhong said. Brother, be careful on the road. I'll take care of your family. When Zhao Rong spoke, the Huang clan also came out. Wang Zhong nodded to her and walked out. Father, mother, father-in-law, mother-in-law, Li Bo, Sui Sui. Wang Zhong called them one by one, and finally came in front of Lin Wu. Xiao Wu, don't worry, I've already prepared for this trip. Don't forget, I've learned from Gao Jinren for some time, so I still have some tricks up my sleeve. So don't worry about me, I'll ask someone to send a letter when I get there. After saying that, Wang Zhong bowed heavily, picked up his sword, and left. Wang Zhong didn't look back as he left. On the previously bustling street, there were only pedestrians hurrying about. Some people rushed to the city gate with big and small bags, while others came back from the city gate. Obviously, just as the constable said, the city gate was closed, and no one was allowed to go out. Although some people knew about this, they still wanted to try their luck. Wang Zhong ran to the city lord's mansion. When he arrived, he saw many men standing in the square. These people were lined up in 5 rows, and they were registering one by one. Wang Zhong walked to the middle of a group of young people. He was the only one here, and he was only 13 years old. I can't believe that I, Duan Su, am so unlucky. I have to go out of the city to deal with evil creatures at the age of 23. It's a pity that I haven't married and had children yet. I hate this. Stop cursing. The kid behind you is even more unlucky. He's only 13 years old. A strong man next to him snorted. Duan-su turned to look at Wang Zhong. It's you, shopkeeper Zhao's son. That's right. Wang Zhong was expressionless. Speaking of which, you're really unlucky. Duan-su sighed, but he didn't complain. After a while, it was finally their turn to register. Name, Wang Zhong, 13 years old, level 2 spiritual root talent, Wang Zhong said to the old man in front of him. The old man nodded and found Zhao Xiaodong's name on the long list. Then, he picked up a piece of hard paper and wrote his name on it. Finally, he said, "Mark it. From now on, this will be your identity as a guide. Later, follow the team into the city lord's mansion. Naturally, there will be someone to receive you." "Thank you." Wang Zhong pressed his thumb on the red ink and marked on the paper. Then, he took the paper and walked towards the city lord's mansion. "I remember that you're Zhao Xiaodong, right?" Duan-su walked in front and walked over as if they knew each other. "Yes." Wang Zhong nodded. "Hey, speaking of which, we're really brothers in distress." Duan-su glanced at the bronze sword in Wang Zhong's hand and revealed an envious expression. "You're indeed from a rich family. You even brought a sword out. It's for self-defense against evil creatures." The two chatted casually and soon entered the city lord's mansion. What surprised Wang Zhong was that the square behind them was even bigger. At the moment, the square was full of people. These people were all wearing bamboo armor and holding various weapons. They stood majestically in square rows. "Newcomers, follow me." A brawny man with a big beard shouted. "Let's go. I heard from an old friend that if you don't listen to orders in the military camp, you'll be beaten. If you die, then so be it. No one will take responsibility." Duan-su lowered his head and walked over. When they came to a small square on the side, they found that there were already more than 50 people standing there. The brawny man with a big beard put his hands behind his back and shouted, "I'm your captain this time, Zhou Mu." Chapter 131. At this moment, Wang Zhong and Duan-su were standing in the last row. Before coming here, Wang Zhong knew that the number of people in a guide team was about 30 to 40. The number of people here was more than half. It was probably because many of the captains had died, so there was a captain leading more people. "All of you listen up. Since you're here, you'll be my soldiers from now on. These are Dekaches. Those who stand behind them will listen to their orders from now on." Zhou Mu's voice was loud and clear. He spoke for half an hour, and it was all about some precautions. In the past, even if people with low spiritual roots came here, as the captain, Zhou Mu would train them well and let them pay attention to some problems. But now it was too late, so Zhou Mu could only finish speaking as fast as he could. Wang Zhong and Duan-su were assigned to stand behind a middle-aged man called Chao Ji. Their team, including Chao Ji, had a total of 8 people. Unfortunately, only one of the 8 people was a veteran. The other 7 were inexperienced and didn't know anything. "Okay, now everyone start training. Remember, today is only one day of training. Tomorrow morning, we will leave the city." Zhou Mu shouted. "Captain, is it too rushed? We don't know anything," a scholar said worriedly. Zhou Mu explained patiently, which was rare, and shouted, "I also want to train you for a few more days, but time waits for no one. I am afraid that tomorrow, the corpse tide will arrive at the city. If we don't attack then, once the evil creatures enter the city, the people who will die will not be you." After speaking, Zhou Mu quickly left. "Let's go." Chao Ji looked at the people in his team and shouted coldly. For a moment, the originally large team was divided into several groups. Most people followed their Dekaches and left. "Everyone, it is fate that we met. In the guide team, although we are also soldiers, there are not so many rules. There is only one thing, and that is to train ourselves well to deal with evil creatures." Chao Ji put his hands behind his back and walked to the side of a wooden box. He opened the wooden box, and inside were pieces of talisman paper. Here are the killing talismans, specially used to deal with evil creatures. Everyone has 5. Take them. After Chao Ji finished speaking, he opened the wooden box beside him. This is a protective talisman. It can prevent evil beings from getting close to you. This is a strength talisman, which is the most powerful talisman paper. It stores the strength of the masters. Everyone can get one. Remember, it's best not to use it unless it's a last resort. The strength talisman is extremely scarce. In theory, you can only get one a month. As for the rest of the talisman papers, if you use them up, you can report to the higher-ups and get more. However, there have been too many evil beings recently, so we don't have enough talisman papers. After Chao Ji finished speaking, he watched as everyone received their talisman papers. Wang Zhong also walked over and picked up the talisman papers. He frowned slightly. This piece of paper was of the worst quality. The power on it was very weak. It was not even as good as Gao Jinren's own talisman paper. Sure enough, it was a suicide squad. Clearly, it was a suicide squad. Wang Zhong sighed. However, he didn't say anything. After all, he had a lot of talisman papers with him. These talisman papers had been refined by him in the past. Then, he obediently received his own talisman paper. Next, Chao Ji began to teach everyone how to use the talisman paper. In theory, the talisman paper had the best effect when used once. However, Chao Ji also said that in order to save the talisman paper, in case of accidents, he taught everyone that the talisman paper could be used against evil beings. Although the effect was weakened, the talisman paper could be used many times. This could also be regarded as some small combat skills. After all, although the power of a single talisman paper was strong, the number was too small. Once it was used up, how could these people survive without any strength? After teaching the talisman paper, it was already afternoon. Chao Ji let everyone train by themselves. After a while, Chao Ji brought a pile of iron swords. Most of these iron swords looked rusty. Many of the edges even had some gaps. However, the difference was that these swords had runes drawn on them. Obviously, they were already elementary artifacts that could deal with evil beings. Although these iron swords are not of high quality, they have all been consecrated by several masters of the City Lord Mansion. There are several kinds of talismans printed on them. With a gentle wave, they can emit strength. You can choose what you like. After Chao Ji finished speaking, a group of people couldn't wait to step forward. Although Wang Zhong himself had a bronze sword, no one would complain about having too many of these things. Wang Zhong chose an iron sword for himself. Both swords were carried on his back. Combined with his short height, it looked a little awkward. Okay, now I will teach you actual combat. Remember, what I am teaching now is very likely to let you survive, so watch carefully. After Chao Ji finished speaking, he pulled out his long sword. This move is the exorcism sword art taught by Master Wu. It is very simple. There are a total of 3 moves. When you see evil beings, cut them from the top of their head. The second move, horizontal chop. The third move, retreat. Chao Ji first cut, then slashed horizontally, and finally retreated. Do you know why I retreated? Because if the first 2 moves can't kill the evil beings, you must retreat to prevent the evil beings from attacking. You won't even know how you died. After that, Chao Ji practiced a few more moves. These moves were actually not orthodox martial arts, but some opportunistic combat experience. Although it looked very ordinary, it was most suitable for newcomers. This afternoon, everyone worked hard to practice. In the evening, Chao Ji brought his team members to the place where they had dinner. Tonight's food was good. Everyone had a drumstick and a few vegetable dishes. During the meal, everyone chatted. After an afternoon of practice, the people in the team became more familiar with each other. Sergeant. Wang Zhong almost finished eating and asked, "You seem to have been here for a long time?" "Yes, I have been here since I was in my 30s. Chao Ji was still good to his team members. He nodded and said, "You are the youngest in the team. Eat more and grow up. Only then can you deal with evil beings." "Sergeant, you didn't come here because of your low spiritual root talent, right?" someone asked. "My family was eaten by evil beings. In order to take revenge, I volunteered to join. After so many years, I am not used to the outside life." Chao Ji took a sip of wine and sighed. Hearing this, everyone was finally enlightened. At this time, several male team members winked and looked not far away. Because at a table not far away, there was a beautiful woman in red leading a group of team members. "This woman is so beautiful. Isn't she? Tsk, she seems to be a sergeant too. If only I could marry her." Chao Ji sneered. "Humph. Shut up. This is Miss Lu Hua. She is stronger than me. Be careful not to get beaten up. So powerful." Duan Su stretched his neck and said in surprise. This Lu Hua just joined the guide team a few years ago. At first, she was just an ordinary person. Later, she survived several crises. She has already cultivated qi, so she was promoted to sergeant. Chao Ji explained. Suddenly, he thought of something and continued, "Oh right, she is 28 years old. Her spiritual root talent is level 3. She can live for at most 2 years. Chapter 132. Hearing this, most people felt sorry for her. She was such a cute and fierce girl, but she had such a short lifespan. Wang Zhong didn't care much about other people's affairs. Instead, he was thinking about his own future. At present, he still couldn't reveal too much of his strength. However, he could slowly reveal his strength after a few battles and say that he trained in battle. Only in this way could he become a corporal and then a captain. Once he had a certain amount of power, he could gradually think about how to deal with those people in the city lord's mansion. Wang Zhong drank the tea on the table in one gulp. Then, under Chao Ji's lead, they went to the military camp by the city gate. At night, the military camp was brightly lit. Wang Zhong and his team members were all squeezed in a tent. Although it was cold outside, there was a charcoal fire in the tent, so the temperature wasn't high. "Our team is all here because our spirit roots are too low. Do you know what they call us? Death Squad." A brawny man with a dark complexion said angrily, "I don't understand. They want us to do such a dangerous mission. Those masters are so powerful, why don't they do it themselves? Moreover, even if they want us to do it, they won't even give us a few life-saving items." This man was called He Zi. When the team members introduced themselves, Wang Zhong knew that he was from the countryside. He used to farm at home, so his skin was tanned. "He Zi, lower your voice." Fortunately, the corporal and captain went out to discuss tomorrow's mission. Otherwise, if they heard what you said, they would punish you. Duan Su reminded him. "Yeah, stop talking. Who doesn't know that those masters only know how to enjoy life? If it weren't for the fact that we don't have strength, we would be stronger than them." Another person said unhappily, "Let's sleep. We're going to deal with evil creatures tomorrow." Nobody knew who said that, but everyone fell asleep. Wang Zhong and Duan Su huddled together and looked up at the tent. After a while, they also fell asleep. The next day before dawn, Chao Ji rushed in and shouted, "Everyone, get up. Hurry, the captain has ordered that our third team is about to set off." The group of people hurriedly got up. Wang Zhong asked while putting on his clothes, "Corporal Chao, what's our mission later?" "There is a small-scale corpse tide that is about to reach the city. We will open the city gate and take a detour to the right side of the corpse tide. We will lure them to the forest on the right side." The group of people immediately dressed up and set off after Chao Ji. Captain Zhou Mu had been waiting for a long time. When he saw Chao Ji coming over, he nodded and shouted, "Captain Chao, now you bring people out of the city and take a detour to the right side of the corpse tide. You must lead this group of corpses away." After saying that, he shouted to another corporal who looked to be in his 50s, "Corporal Han, you support Corporal Chao." Once something happens to them, you take people to cover for them. Yes. The two Dakarches shouted in unison, and then waved at their own troops. Come, open the city gates. The city gates slowly opened, and the two teams, with a total of more than 10 people, rushed out. This was the first time these people had left the city, so it was impossible for them not to be nervous. Wang Zhong's heart was not so nervous, but was looking forward to it. After opening the gate, they looked around. There was a yellow sand hill, and there was a large forest in the distance. However, the air was filled with the smell of corpses. With his experience, Wang Zhong knew that the corpse tide was not far away. Don't just stand there. If there is anyone who disobeys the military order, runs away, or disturbs the morale of the troops, kill without mercy. Qiao Zhi's calm attitude suddenly became extremely violent. He pulled out his sword and said, "Follow me." The group of people followed closely behind, walking along the wide official road. The more they went forward, the stronger the wind mixed with the yellow sand. It was almost impossible to open one's eyes. From time to time, everyone could see a few corpses wearing bamboo armor on the side of the road. There was no doubt that these people wearing bamboo armor were the people who led the way. Because there were too many people who died, it was too late to collect the corpses. Qiao Zhi quickened his pace. Wang Zhong walked while looking around vigilantly. In fact, he had already cultivated qi, so he could slightly sense the evil creatures around him. Although there were many evil creatures around, they were similar to the evil creatures in the city. Their strength was too weak. Just by relying on one's own yang qi, these evil creatures could not get close. However, the problem was that there were too many evil creatures. According to Wang Zhong's experience, there must be a strong evil creature hiding among them. Zing! Wang Zhong pulled out his bronze sword. Along the way, the evil creatures were killed by his bronze sword before they could even touch him. It was just that the others could not see these evil creatures. During this time, Wang Zhong also discovered that those with level 2 and level 3 spiritual roots could not see any evil creatures. Therefore, he speculated that those with level 1 spiritual roots could see evil creatures. Previously, the two sons of Zhang Tufu who died could also see evil creatures. Stop. Finally, Qiao Zhi came to a small hillside. Everyone walked up and looked around. Under the hillside, a black mass of corpses was staggering towards them. These are the small corpses tied in front of us. Later, we will go to the right. You guys follow me to eliminate the evil creatures on the right. Remember, once you see the corpse tide approaching us, leave immediately. Qiao Zhi gave the order, turned his head and shouted, "Charge!" This time, he didn't charge at the front. It wasn't because Qiao Zhi was afraid, but because he knew in his heart that this batch of people were all newcomers. If he wasn't watching from the back, this batch of newcomers would probably be scared out of their wits and directly run away. In fact, Qiao Zhi had considered it thoroughly. Sure enough, after running for a while, some sharp-eyed people saw two skeletons with pieces of meat hanging on their bodies walking towards them. I didn't expect the evil creatures outside the city to walk in broad daylight. Aren't they afraid of the sun? Wang Zhong looked up at the sky. He noticed that unlike the city, the sky outside the city was covered with dark clouds that completely blocked out the sunlight. Therefore, these evil beings were not afraid at all. Evil creatures. Evil creatures. Corpses, so many corpses. Duansu held his sword with both hands and could no longer walk. Qiao Zhi shouted, "Go forward. You all have talismans on you. Don't worry." But Captain, I'm afraid. Duansu cried, "I'm a scholar. If it wasn't for the fact that my spiritual roots were not good enough, I would have taken the imperial examinations and become a scholar. No matter what, I still want to be a teacher. I can't deal with evil creatures, I can't deal with them." Before he finished speaking, Qiao Zhi's sword slashed horizontally. In the blink of an eye, Duansu's head flew out. Everyone was stunned. Qiao Zhi looked at everyone with a cold expression and shouted, "Whoever dares to be long-winded, kill." No one dared to speak. Wang Zhong tilted his head and continued walking. With Wang Zhong taking the lead, the others did not dare to say anything more. Everyone kept their heads down and hurried on. Qiao Ji was behind them, and he was a little surprised by Wang Zhong's reaction. In the beginning, when he took over this small team, he was not optimistic about Wang Zhong. First, this Zhao Xiaodong was too young. He was only 13 years old, and his hair was not yet fully grown. Second, Zhao Xiaodong was born in a rich family. In his opinion, the children of rich families had a common problem, that is, they could not bear hardships and were timid. What he did not expect was that this Zhao Xiaodong was doing well so far. He rushed to the front alone. Wherever his bronze sword swung, there would always be a flash of black fog. It must be known that this black fog was caused when the evil creatures were killed and their souls scattered. After a while, Wang Zhong had already arrived at the side of the corpse tide. Standing here, the stench made people unable to open their eyes. There were too many evil creatures in front of him. Wang Zhong had not seen many of them before. There were evil creatures with white fluttering clothes flying in the sky. There were souls with sharp claws, stretching out their sharp teeth and roaring. Even more, there were countless corpses. These corpses were said to have been buried in the mass grave for hundreds of years. Most of them had rotted into skeletons, but there were many that had died not long ago. Their whole body was full of rotten flesh, and even maggots were crawling in these rotten flesh. Chapter 133. The countless evil beings in front of him were indeed disgusting, but Wang Zhong did not have any reaction. A corpse pounced at him. Wang Zhong shook the bronze sword in his hand and slashed at the head of the corpse. Wang Zhong also drew talismans on the bronze sword, but it was not an ordinary talisman. It was the best golden talisman. Willie was much higher than the iron sword. The head of the corpse flew out, but what surprised Wang Zhong was that the corpse did not fall down. Instead, it stretched out its hands and continued to charge at him. Extermination talisman! Wang Zhong shouted. The extermination talisman was placed in front of him. Soon after, a black mist dispersed from the corpse, causing the corpse to fall down. While he was calmly dealing with these evil beings, the others were not able to do the same. Although a few of them managed to cut off the torso of the corpse, the corpses were still charging at them. Everyone, pay attention. These corpses may look like corpses on the surface, but they are actually controlled by the souls of the evil beings. If you want to get rid of them, there are only two ways. First, cut off their limbs. Second, use the extermination talisman to stop them. After Qiao Ji finished speaking, the long sword in his hand swiftly cut a corpse in half. However, at this moment, a corpse pounced on one of the team members and spat out a mouthful of black mist onto his face. Sizzle! In an instant, the team member's eyes widened, and his face became distorted. Be careful of the corpse poison. Qiao Ji saw the team member's miserable state and roared. With a kick, he sent the team member flying. Everyone quickly retreated. They saw that the team member's face began to bleed. In a blink of an eye, his eyeballs exploded. Then, like a corpse, he staggered towards the team. If you are touched by the corpse poison, not only will you die, but you will also become an evil being's puppet. Do you all remember this? Qiao Ji shouted. Gulp. The field was filled with the sound of saliva being swallowed. Wang Zhong stood beside Qiao Ji. Corporal, the corpse tide is already rushing towards us. Should we retreat? Qiao Ji looked at Wang Zhong with satisfaction. He secretly thought that this kid could still remain so calm at this time. This kind of temperament was really rare. Unfortunately, he knew from the information that Zhao Xiaodong had a short lifespan. He only had a lifespan of 20. No matter how strong his temperament was, it would be difficult for him to achieve anything in the future. Yeah, Zhao Xiaodong is right. Everyone, follow my rhythm and retreat slowly. As Qiao Ji spoke, a sword chi slashed out, and countless corpses fell to the ground. Seeing how powerful their sergeant was, the remaining group of people in the team were greatly boosted in confidence. One by one, the corpses walked towards them. These people fought while retreating. The corpse tide gradually moved to the right. Finally, the corpse tide was led away. Although there was no need for them to risk their lives, Wang Zhong wanted to test his strength. He was very close to the corpse tide, which was only a few kilometers away. He killed no less than 30 corpses. In fact, this scene was already seen by the others. Each of them looked at Wang Zhong in a new light. They didn't expect this Zhao Xiaodong to be so fierce. Xiaodong, don't get too close to the corpse tide. Our mission is only to lead the corpse tide away from here. Chao Ji couldn't bear to see such a strong person like Zhao Xiaodong die too early. He quickly reminded him. Wang Zhong nodded and said, "It doesn't matter. I won't live past 20 anyway. It's better to practice more. If I can make a breakthrough, maybe I can increase my lifespan." So Zhao Xiaodong had this idea. No wonder he was so desperate. The surrounding people thought. Everyone had a short lifespan. For a moment, they were infected by Wang Zhong's fighting spirit. The fear in everyone's heart dissipated. Wang Zhong didn't pay attention to Chao Ji's reminder. In fact, Chao Ji himself was too weak. He didn't see Wang Zhong's skill at all. He only thought that the bronze sword in Wang Zhong's hand was a good thing, so cutting the corpses was like cutting tofu. The corpse tide had already left the city gate, and Wang Zhong and the others had already entered the small forest. As long as the corpse tide entered the small forest, they would be blocked by the trees. At that time, the formation would gradually disperse. At that time, it would be easier to deal with them. Chao Ji, your mission has been completed. Let's go back and report. Captain Han, who was supporting them, brought the team and said. Let's go. Chao Ji waved his hand. Wang Zhong frowned and said, "The corpse tide has been dispersed. We should stay here and deal with the corpse tide before leaving." Chao Ji was shocked by Wang Zhong's idea. He shook his head and said, "Our mission is only to lead them away. Since the mission is completed, there is no need to stay here. Moreover, there are more than 1,000 corpses here. I'm afraid we can't fight for a day and a night. If a day and a night is not enough, we can take 2 days. After dealing with the corpse tide, at least we won't have any worries. We can focus on dealing with the large corpse tide. Captain Han, what do you think?" After completing the mission, Captain Han cupped his hands and asked. If it was someone else who said this impolitely, these captains would have already scolded them. However, Wang Zhong, who had just displayed his powerful strength, was different. With a single glance, these people were able to tell that Wang Zhong's strength was enough to match up to the Dakarches. Therefore, Captain Han didn't blame him. Instead, he explained, "Generally speaking, we should leave after completing the mission. After all, there may be other missions. If we return late, I'm afraid the captain will blame us." "All right, let's go." Wang Zhong looked at the corpse tide, "Then I will go through the middle of the corpse tide." What? Everyone was stunned. However, in the next moment, they saw Wang Zhong holding a bronze sword and quickly killing the corpse tide. Chi chi chi. At this moment, Wang Zhong seemed to have entered an uninhabited land. Countless broken limbs flew out. This 13-year-old kid is too fierce. Captain Han was shocked. His eyes flashed with envy. "Old Chow, you have a fierce warrior in your team." For these captains, if there was an extra strong warrior in the team, it would undoubtedly increase their survival rate. Chao Ji sighed. Although he is strong, he is still young. Look at him killing the corpse tide alone. He is really not afraid of death. It is good that he is not afraid of death. The people I brought with me last time were all cowards. I killed 5 of them. All right, let's go too. We'll go to the front to help Little Dong. Chao Ji nodded and a group of people ran out. Wang Zhong didn't kill the zombies to show off. Now, he knew that his biggest enemy in the future wasn't these evil creatures, but the master in the city lord's residence. Therefore, if he wanted to grow faster, he had to kill. Chi chi chi. One by one, the heads of the corpses were thrown away. At this moment, The ghosts in the sky also noticed Wang Zhong and rushed over. Protective talisman. Wang Zhong shouted, and a protective talisman was placed in front of him. In a moment, all the ghosts near him were covered by a golden light and disappeared. Die. Wang Zhong swept the surrounding corpses. With him as the center, all the corpses within 2 meters were cut in half. Wow, this guy is probably as strong as a captain. Chao Ji was surprised. But this kid mostly relies on his own talisman. I heard that his name is Zhao Xiaodong. He learned from the missing Gao Jinren for a few days. I am afraid that he learned from Gao Jinren, Sergeant Han said. But we have met a few of Gao Jinren's disciples before, and they did not seem to be so powerful. Who knows, maybe this is talent. I can tell that this kid is smart. Maybe he learns fast. The two sergeants talked to each other and arrived at the end of the corpse tide. Zhao Xiaodong, come out quickly. We are leaving. Chao Ji shouted. Yes. Wang Zhong increased his speed and charged over. Not long after, he had carved out a path of blood for himself. Too weak. Wang Zhong sighed in his heart. This zombie horde was indeed the lowest level of evil beings. It was just that there were a lot of them. After meeting up with the two sergeants, the other members of the two teams looked at Wang Zhong differently. Wang Zhong automatically ignored these gazes. He walked over and asked, Sergeants, how are the ranks of these evil creatures distributed? Why are there strong and weak evil creatures in this group? Well, let's walk and talk. Chao Ji wanted to say, but suddenly, a fiery red firework came from the distant city wall. Pa! The firework emitted a beautiful flame in the sky. But such a beautiful scene made Chao Ji and Sergeant Han's face change. They shouted together, Not good, the corpse tide behind us has already reached the city wall. Chapter 134. This firework is the highest level of danger on the city wall. When this firework is released, it means that the corpse tide has reached the city wall. Chao Ji shouted to the people behind him as he ran. Everyone listen to my order, speed up. Han Wuchang roared. Finally, they arrived at the city wall. Looking around, the corpse tide that was bigger than a football field was rushing towards Snow City. At this moment, a large number of soldiers were standing on the city wall. Each of them held a yellow talisman and threw it at the ghosts. It's over. These ordinary soldiers are no match for the corpse tide. Chao Ji's face was bitter. Just as they were talking, they saw two white figures appear on the city wall. It's the two masters. Someone in the crowd exclaimed. Wang Zhong squinted his eyes. So this is Master White and Master Wu. When the two masters appeared, the group of evil creatures that were approaching suddenly retreated. Because the distance was too far, Wang Zhong could not see the specific movements of the two masters. However, he could see that the speed of the corpse tide was much slower. At this moment, the city gate suddenly opened and a large group of people in white rushed out. It's the disciples of the two masters. They finally made a move. Han Wuchang was so excited that he directly knelt down. Ha ha ha, with them making a move, the corpse tide can be temporarily solved. The crowd was excited. Wang Zhong also had a new understanding of the two masters' methods. When this group of people came out, they chanted a spell that Wang Zhong could not understand. The sound floated over and some of the weaker evil creatures were directly scattered. As for the slightly stronger ones, their bodies were scattered and they began to retreat. Holy Light Shroud! The two masters shouted in unison and jumped out from the city wall. These two are indeed quite capable. They can actually fly in the air. Wang Zhong thought to himself. He didn't know when he would be able to reach their level. Holy Light Shroud! The disciples below shouted in unison. For a moment, with them as the center, a dazzling light emitted. Bang bang bang! Countless low-level evil creatures exploded and died. At the same time, Han Wuchang was surprised. Captain and the others came out too. Why did Captain and the others come out too? Chao Ji was surprised. He saw Zhou Mu leading a large group of people, quickly running towards this side. "You've completed the mission," Zhou Mu shouted from afar. "Captain, we did not disappoint you." Sergeant Han and Chao Ji cupped their hands together. "Very good. Follow me," Zhou Mu shouted as he ran. "Although there are 2 masters overseeing this place, there are too many corpses in the back. The 2 masters ordered us to go to the back of the corpse tide and lure the corpse tide away." "What?" Chao Ji and Han Wuzhong's expressions both changed. Chao Ji hurriedly said, "This corpse tide is too huge. It's impossible to lead it away." "Yeah, we've done this many times before. It's too difficult." "Then what should I do? You want me to go back and tell the master that I can't?" Zhou Mu's eyes widened. "Let's go. We have more people this time, and there are 5 disciples of the masters in the team. We will definitely succeed." As Zhou Mu spoke, Wang Zhong also noticed the 5 men in white following him. The 5 men all held long swords in their hands and wore hairpins in their hair. They ran with an arrogant face. Seeing the surrounding people looking at them, one of the older men in white snorted and shouted, "Speed up. If we miss the master's opportunity, can you bear the responsibility?" "Yes, yes. Brother Ouyang is right. Did you hear that? Speed up. Whoever is slow will be beheaded," Zhou Mu roared. The group of members behind secretly complained. They had just fought for so long and their bodies were already exhausted. Now they had to speed up. It was simply too difficult for them. But there was no other way. The military order was like a mountain. They could only speed up. At this time, a beautiful figure rushed out of the team. Ouyang turned his head and glanced, and said in surprise, "Isn't this Miss Lu?" The person who came was Lu Hua, whom Wang Zhong had met once. As usual, Lu Hua was expressionless. She did not pay attention to Ouyang and walked with her team. Seeing that Lu Hua ignored him, Ouyang snorted and did not say anything. The zombies covered a large area. A large group of people walked quickly along the zombies. Wang Zhong walked to Chao Ji's side and asked while running, "Captain Chao, you haven't told me what the level of these evil creatures is." Thinking that Zhao Xiaodong's performance was not bad, Chao Ji explained, "Among these zombies, the lowest level of evil creatures are these corpses. Do you see the ghosts floating in the sky? They are called ghosts. Above that is the Yin Soul. The Yin Soul's body is stronger than the ghosts. After that are the skeletons. The skeletons have a strong defense. Their whole body has corpse poison. They are very difficult to deal with. Among these zombies, the strongest are the skeletons." "Captain Chao, before you said that the ones controlling the zombies are usually the ghost generals." Wang Zhong was puzzled. "Are there no ghost generals here?" "Ghost generals appear and disappear unpredictably. Although these zombies are controlled by the ghost generals, they must be hiding. It is not easy to deal with them. We can only lure the zombies away." Chao Ji's tone was helpless. Wang Zhong secretly nodded and memorized the contents. The weakest evil creatures are called evil creatures. Then there are ghosts, Yin souls, and skeletons. Finally, there are the ghost generals who can control other evil creatures. Everyone listen to me. In front of us is the end of the zombie wave. Follow me and attack the skeletons at the end of the zombie wave. Only when the skeletons are dealt with will the evil creatures at the end of the zombie wave disperse. Do you understand? Ouyang shouted. Zhou Mu quickly responded. Finally, they arrived at the end of the zombie wave. Zhou Mu shouted, 1 3 5 7 4 teams, attack from the right flank. 2 4 6 8 teams, attack from the left flank. Team 90, follow me to fight head-on. Be sure to attract the zombies. If you find any skeletons, immediately notify. Among the zombies, the skeletons have a strong defense. Everyone's weapons could not deal with them. Therefore, if they found any skeletons, they could only call Ouyang and the other master's disciples. The team dispersed. Wang Zhong was in the fourth team, so he followed everyone to the left flank. A group of evil creatures seemed to have smelled something and crazily counterattacked. Two of the team members did not notice and were directly pushed to the ground by a group of evil creatures. There were too many evil creatures. Even if it was just a few sergeants, facing so many evil creatures, they were surrounded by danger. "What are you doing? Did you not see any skeletons?" Ouyang stood at the back and coldly shouted, "Brother Ouyang, this group of people is just a suicide squad. They are not worthy. I am willing to go in and find skeletons." A thin man said, "Well, Xiao Song, go in and be careful." Ouyang thought for a moment and agreed with his junior brother's proposal. Then, he coldly said, "A suicide squad is worthy of being called a suicide squad. A group of useless things." When Ouyang spoke, he did not hide anything. Hearing this, Wang Zhong and the others frowned. However, in front of the enemy, they did not have time to talk nonsense. In an instant, Xiao Song came to the side of Wang Zhong's group. Looking at the countless evil creatures in front of him, he shouted, "Too slow. You three, kill them for me. I need to find the skeletons as soon as possible." Xiao Song was referring to squad leader Han and a few of his team members. Hearing this, their expressions changed drastically. "Brother, there are so many evil creatures in front. Let's go." Before Sergeant Han could finish, Xiao Song coldly snorted. He grabbed Sergeant Han and threw him into the pile of evil creatures. Chapter 135. Everyone saw this scene, and then they saw Han Wuzhong fall more than 10 meters away. As soon as he fell, countless evil creatures around him rushed over. "Ah, bastard!" Han Wuzhong roared and swung his long sword. Chi 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 chi. In the past, no matter how powerful Han Wuzhong was, he could not burst out with such strength, but at the critical moment of life and death, he almost used all of his potential. Roar! Suddenly, a roar came from behind Han Wuzhong, and a black corpse with a metallic luster appeared. This corpse was obviously different from the corpses beside it. The fingernails on its hands were blood red, and it looked at Han Wuzhong's back and scratched. Chi chi! In an instant, Han Wuzhong's back was scratched open, and blood dripped. "It's a bone corpse." Chao Ji and Han Wuzhong had a good relationship, and when he saw a bone corpse behind his friend, he was shocked. They could deal with some ordinary evil creatures, but they still could not deal with bone corpses, which was why they asked the master's disciples to help. They just did not expect that these disciples would use them as bait in order to find the bone corpse earlier. "Not bad, I found the bone corpse." Xiao Song did not take the lives of others seriously at all, and after taking out a large talisman, he rushed in with his sword. Chi chi chi! One evil creature after another was destroyed by him, but Han Wuzhong could not hold on any more. He took out his most precious talisman and threw it at the bone corpse behind him. Chi chi! The bone corpse was hit, but the effect was not great, and its sharp claws pierced through. "Ah!" Han Wuzhong screamed as his chest was pierced. Then, a beating heart was taken out. Good chance. Xiao Song rushed in with the talisman and threw it at the bone corpse. Explosive talisman, explode. Boom. With the bone corpse as the center, all evil creatures within 2 meters were blown to death. This scene made the guide team's eyelids twitch. Although Sergeant Han was dead, his body was still there. How could it be blown to smithereens just like that? Looking at the master's disciples' performance, they did not seem to treat them as humans at all. This was outrageous. This was too much. Everyone was angry, but this Xiao Song was eager to take credit, and immediately returned after a successful attack, and said to Ouyang, "Senior brother, fortunately I did not disappoint you." Very good. Regarding Xiao Song's method, Ouyang did not reprimand him. Instead, he praised him and shouted to the guide team, "Did you see that? This is the fastest and most efficient way to deal with the evil creature. Everyone, go in immediately and draw out the bone corpse." After Ouyang finished speaking, his 4 junior brothers all stood out and went to the guides. "Get in." These people domineeringly drove people in. The guide team was made up of ordinary people, so how could they defeat the disciples of these grandmasters? Therefore, they were all chased away. You get in. A man who looked like he was only 18 years old came up to Wang Zhong and said coldly. Wang Zhong frowned. Although he wasn't afraid of entering a zombie horde, these people's actions were simply not treating them as humans. You guys are so strong, why don't you go in and draw out the bone corpses? Wang Zhong questioned. You still dare to talk back? We are the disciples of the grandmasters. How can you guys be compared to us? Hurry up and go in. Anyway, you guys won't live for long. Before you die, you can contribute more. As soon as this person finished speaking, two people who entered the zombie horde not far away screamed. Their stomachs were cut open by a group of corpses. However, at the same time, a bone corpse appeared again. It dug out the two people's hearts and chewed. I didn't expect bone corpses to like eating hearts. No wonder we were asked to draw them out. Hey, what are you muttering about? Hurry up and go in. The young disciple pulled out his sword to scare Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong's eyes flashed. Okay. He rushed into the zombie horde and pretended to barely deal with it. Sure enough, a bone corpse appeared after a while. This bone corpse had some spiritual intelligence and knew to hide and attack. Wang Zhong snorted and threw the talisman behind him and shouted, "Bone corpse appeared." The young disciple was overjoyed. Don't move, I'll throw the talisman now. In fact, these so-called disciples couldn't deal with the bone corpse. They only relied on the explosive talisman in their hands. However, if this was the case, wouldn't they also kill their own people? Wang Zhong knew this point but deliberately didn't point it out. Suddenly, he split open the evil thing in front of the young disciple and rushed over. Roar! The bone corpse rushed towards Wang Zhong. The young disciple was shocked. What are you doing? Don't come over, don't come over. He held the explosive talisman in his hand, but seeing that Wang Zhong and the bone corpse were very close to him, if he threw the talisman at this distance, he would be injured. You are the disciple of a great master. I'll leave the bone corpse behind me to you. Wang Zhong rushed to the side of the disciple and his figure flashed. The bone corpse arrived at the same time and in an instant, it grabbed at the young disciple. Ah! The disciple was shocked and angry at the same time. He quickly blocked, but how could he be the bone corpse's opponent? He was sent flying in an instant. Senior brother Ouyang, save me. Ouyang turned his head but it was too late. The bone corpse jumped up and stepped on the disciple's back. Its sharp claws pierced the disciple's heart. Luo Tian. Ouyang's eyes narrowed. As the senior brother of these people, his master had told him to protect his junior brother. But he didn't expect that one of his junior brother would die in a blink of an eye. He quickly walked over and threw the explosive talisman without hesitation. Boom! The bone corpse and Luo Tian's body exploded into ashes. Ouyang then looked at Wang Zhong and shouted, "What happened just now? Why didn't you die but my junior brother died? My skills are not good enough." Wang Zhong said calmly and fought side by side with Chao Ji. Ouyang looked at Wang Zhong's back and narrowed his eyes. This 13 or 14-year-old kid was actually so arrogant. Zhao Xiaodong, these master's disciples are arrogant and overbearing. You should keep a low profile. Chao Ji reminded. I know, Sergeant. It's a pity that those team members became bait for these people. Sigh, these disciples compete with each other. In order to be recognized by the master, they would do anything to complete the mission. Just as they were talking, they heard a shout. How can you master's disciples be like this? You don't even care about the lives of others in order to gain merits. This voice came from Sergeant Lu Hua's side. Chao Ji and Wang Zhong glanced over and saw that Lu Hua's team members were all dead. She was the only one left who was bitterly resisting the tide of corpses. Not far away, Xiao Song and another disciple called Liang sneered at Lu Hua. They felt like they were sitting and watching a show. Why did these people bully Lu Hua? Wang Zhong asked. Chao Ji sighed. Lu Hua is beautiful. A few days ago, Ouyang came over with 2 master's disciples. Ouyang took a liking to Lu Hua and wanted to take advantage of her. However, Lu Hua rejected him. As the senior brother, Ouyang naturally felt embarrassed. Hence, he would always send Lu Hua on dangerous missions. So narrow-minded. Wang Zhong said. Xiaodong, although Sergeant Lu is a woman, she is a good person. She has helped us many times. I still need to guard this place. Can you go and help her get out of this situation? Wang Zhong thought for a moment. Sure. As soon as he finished speaking, he slashed with his blade and killed all the evil creatures in front of him. There are skeletons here. Lu Hua shouted. Is that so? Then Sergeant Lu will have to trouble you. I hope you can continue to work hard and get rid of the skeletons. Xiao Song sneered. Lu Hua frowned. These people actually didn't come over to help. Did they want to watch her die? Ouyang also glanced over and sneered. I wanted to pamper you, but you didn't want to. Since you don't know what's good for you, there's no need to keep you. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.